Okay, so we're live. Welcome back to the Magic Minds podcast. I'm Matt Burke. You're watching and listening to the Liberties #1 podcast. You up the Liberties, you up the flats. I'm back in Belfast. Belfast is good to me.
Oh, it's not good to me.
Fuck that. We'll hear all about it. I'm here with the infamous Sam Millar. Sam wrote this incredible book, On the Brinks. Not blowing smoke up his hole because he's here beside me. I can honestly say this is the best true story book I've ever read. It's incredible.
Thank you. It's an honour to hear it.
No pressure.
No pressure whatsoever, you know.
This is going to be the best interview ever. Guys, I've asked Sam to come on the show today to talk about his troubles. He was on the blanket with the likes of Bobby Sands. He was in the protest in H Block. You know, went on and done some stuff in America that On the Brinks. He'll share that with us. You know, 7 point something million went missing and he was involved in that somehow. Allegedly. No rats in the flat, so I won't be ratting them out. So let's talk about this book. Is fucking incredible. I loved it.
Thanks, man. Thank you. It's where would you like me to start for yourself? Just how the book came about, or myself as a child growing up, or what?
Let's go back. Like, the reason I love this book, I want to say first and foremost, Sam shares his struggles, but in it there's a lot of psychology, there's a lot of resilience, humanity, humour, dark humour. We're going to cover all that, and I want to unearth why that is. One of the big ones for me as a man, and that's interested in vulnerability, is that you were very honest about your vulnerability in the book. Was that a purposeful thing to do? Did you mean to do it that way?
When I wrote the book, I wrote it in a penitentiary in America. There was a lot of violence around me, so I really wrote the book not thinking it was ever going to be published. But I done it for myself to get a lot of poison. It was cathartic for me, because there was a lot of poison in my life, you know, from different people and things like this, and things I'd done myself. So I just sat down. Any chance I got when I was in the penitentiary, and I started writing it longhand. I never thought for one moment I was ever going to be able to get it out of the penitentiary, first of all, because you're not allowed to take anything with you. But I got the book out and it sat in an attic up in Belfast, and I started to go through it, and I sort of like took a raw snack and thought, you know, this could be published one day. Didn't believe it really, you know what I mean? But there you go, there's the proof sitting there on the table, you know.
We spoke downstairs, and you told me that it was wrote 20 years ago. I didn't even look when it was wrote. It felt like it was only wrote recently. Yeah. It was incredible, like, and the stuff that you talk about in it, you know, your connection to the IRA, the Brinks stuff, your love for comics and superheroes and the Hulk, and that was a huge part of this. I was loving it. That comes true in it.
Yes, it's, as I said, as I mentioned before we started this, you know, comic books played a big part in me growing up. And what it was, when I was about 8 years of age, my mother got up one day and walked out. She walked out the door and she never came back. And I never seen her again the rest of my life, the rest of my family, a couple of brothers and sisters, and it sort of like fucks her head up. It scars you psychologically, because every day I waited for her returning. And not only that, when I was at school, I waited for her to be outside, waiting for me that day. So it sort of like fucks her head up. Now, as I got a little bit older, got about 13, 14, my mates would always say to me, Sam, where's your ma? You know, we never see your ma, we always see your dad. We all know Big Sam, everybody knew my father, he's a well-known character in Belfast, you know. Where's your mummy? Where is? I used to say, she's up the stairs, she's sick. This has gone on for years. I used to tell her, because I was so embarrassed, you know, because my mother walked out there, I was blaming myself, so it must have been me, something I did, something I said, or she hated me. So she walked out, you know, you have all this fucking shit playing in your head, you know. So I used to have to tell all my mates, she's up the stairs, very, very sick. You know, it was like a Guinness Book of Records. You know, she was the sickest woman in the world. She was up the stairs. Nobody knew who this mysterious woman was, you know. It's like something out of a Charles Dickens movie, you know. But that was really, and when I talk about comics, my father was an emergency man. So he would go to New York, all over the place. But when he went to New York, he always came back with a suitcase full of comics for me. And it played a big part of my life, because it helped save me. Because I used to read the comics. I was very young at the time, you know, and I started to learn words. I didn't learn really too much at school. I hated school, but I learned everything from comics, how to write words, how to spell them, what they meant. But the adventures, I used to get myself lost in them, because being in Belfast in those days, like in the early 60s, it was quite horrendous being a Catholic and being an artist, what you were living under, the oppression of the British Unionists. And also, I would say we were living in poverty. You know, food was very scarce. You know, my father was a seaman. He didn't like the fact he had now to come home, leave the job that he loved all his life as a merchant seaman, and now look after wee lads and wee girls. It fucked him up as much, you know. Plus, there was the old whispers of, well, he must have done something on his wife. Why would she walk out on him? My father never lifted his fucking hand on my mother or any of us. Very kind gentleman, you know, big man. So he had that in the back of his head too. So I never discussed it with him, you know. We never discussed anything. My father and I were like, in Belfast, it's mano, you know. You don't talk about things like that. That's for sissies, you know. So I always wanted to talk to him. And I said, Dad, what effect did it have when my mum walked out on you? But my father wasn't very receptive towards me talking to him because I was just a son, a wee lad. I would never grow into this man, even though I was a man now. He would always look upon me as a wee lad and it was none of my business, you know. But as I said, fucked my head up. I'm sure it fucked up my sisters and brothers. And they never spoke about it. We never ever spoke about it. You know, it was only till the book, I wrote the book, and people were shocked when I found out about my mother. You know, because they like saying, fuck, we always thought Sam's mother was in that house. And actually, someone actually says I had a conversation with her, which was impossible. But because of me talking so much about her, to them, they always thought, oh yes, I remember talking to your mum. I said, no, you can't have it. You know, so, you know, they said, fuck, you sure now? You know? So that's really how my life started. But if it hadn't been for American comic books, my life would have been a bigger nightmare. My mum was growing up, you know.
You know, they always say, what's the root cause of trouble, you know? And straight away you were telling me childhood trauma, fear of abandonment, you were abandoned, not feeling loved, the pain, and then the oppression of the struggles of the North.
Yeah.
That all kicked off. Could you talk to us about that, the start of that for you when,
yes.
you know?
As anybody sees my name, they're probably thinking, Sam Millar, a fucking Irish Republican. Catholic, you know. Sam Millar's a big orange name. It's a very Protestant orange name, you know. And where the origins comes from, my grandfather was a leading member of the Orange Order. And he wasn't what I would call one of these bitter orange men, like we have up here at the moment, you know, wanting to kill Catholics and all this. He was sort of like just believed in the Orange Order. That was his culture. But he was in Cork, and he met a woman down there, and she was a Catholic. And he couldn't fucking believe it because he never spoke to Catholics really. For him, Catholics were just this people there, but don't be discussing them. You know, he had his own life. They were like a second race of people, Catholics, you know. And he started talking to this girl, young girl at the time, and he ended up falling in love with her. And lo and behold, the two of them got married. And her only thing was, any kids we have, they're going to be Catholics. Now, his life became hell because his family disowned him. He was kicked out of the Orange Order. He had to leave the street that he lived in, you know. And his whole family, his brothers and all, you know, all disassociated with him, you know. So he himself went through a bit of rough time too, you know. But that's how I had the name Sam Millar, you know. I remember the cops, the RUCs used to come into our house and there'd be a big picture of John F. Kennedy, the Pope, and a big sash, big orange sash right there on the top, you know, the three of them. Like, it was like the unholy trinity, you know. And the cops used to be baffled because they didn't know what the fuck was Big Orange Order. Sash sitting there beside the Pope and John F. Kennedy on them, and it, you know, they knew my name, and they used to think we must be fucking Unionists, Protestants. So our house never got too much of a smash in, you know, because we're always a wee bit reluctant, you know. Plus, my grandfather's people did have a lot of sway among the judiciary, so they were always a bit weary of fucking around with our family, you know, in case someone came back to hit them in the arse, like, you know. So that's really where the origins of my name came from, you know.
Wow. That's difficult growing up and then being connected to the Protestants.
Yeah.
Was that hard as well on you?
It was hard, but at the same time, I seen both sides because I used to go in, during the summer, there's an area in Belfast called Tigers Bay, and anybody who lives in Belfast knows it's a staunch loyalist area, very dangerous place. But I used to go there and stay with my aunts and uncles. As a Catholic, young Catholic, and they were very protective of me, you know.
Right.
And like it was years later, people used to say, how the fuck did you go to Tigers Bay and come out of it alive? You know, because I used to say, well, my aunts, my cousins are all there, you know, they were very protective of me, you know. But I could see the two different sides. I mean, when I go back home to my house in Lancaster Street, was a very famous street in Belfast, you know, you could see the difference of lifestyle, you know. My cousins had big jobs, great jobs, you know, they got jobs guaranteed, the shipyard, cops, whatever, it was always guaranteed. Whereas my house, my father was always struggling. Our house was like outdoor plumbing, all this sort of freaking shit, you know, it was real rough, tough, you know, poverty was always there, you know, I'm not saying starved to death, but poverty was always there, very little clothing or anything like this here, so it was a tough life, but I could see the total difference once I went over to my cousins and all, who were Protestants, Unionists, you know, their lifestyle was different because they had money coming in, because of what the war, they had 100 years of being in charge, so-called charge, you know, and Catholics like were fucking tortured, were murdered for nothing, like just for being Catholics, and it was a real tough place, you know.
Was there a lure, like a pull, to gravitate towards that side because of the abundance, the riches? We ever like to go and sell your soul? Was
I
there
love going to my aunts and uncles because you're getting the best of food. You had a wee room in your own now, and the toilet was up next door to you. You know, they had an indoor toilet, and you were saying, fuck, I've got an indoor toilet.
And there was toilet paper probably.
Oh, fuck,
It wasn't newspapers
Not the
cut
Irish
up.
news, you know. You're getting the newsprint on your arse. You get up, you know.
I remember that in my nanny's years ago. It was the newspaper cutting
When I
squares.
tell my kids about the toilet outdoors and all, you know, in the winter, and all, you go out with a candle and get newspapers, and I think, you know, come on, enough your stories, you know, that didn't happen, you know.
That's
But
fucking,
the way
I
it was.
remember
That was
my
reality,
nanny.
you know.
Yeah, so
That was reality.
the lure of that would, like, you know, the riches and
Yes.
to go and work for those people, to
That
get
thing.
involved. Was
Yeah.
there a pull towards that?
Yes, there was a pull because I loved going to them because I knew the end it was just great feeling. As I say, it's a great food, the lifestyle, the TV. And I mean, TVs were a rarity. It was only in the nice areas. Like I remember one TV being on our street, and everybody used to stand and look in the window at it. You know what I mean? They tell you tonight the hay shop rails on. And you have about 20 of us looking in the window at it.
You couldn't hear it, but you could see
You
it.
didn't get it. You still seen the cowboys on their
Yeah,
horses, you know. But yeah, it was two different lifestyles, and at times you were thinking, why the fuck wasn't I born into this, you know?
Yeah.
You know, but as you get older, of course, then you start to see the bigger picture. You know, you start to realise the whole purpose of it. You know, I think I was born to be on both sides of the divide. You know, so that I could see both sides. You know, see both viewpoints. And the thing was, when you know, I got a lot of interviews over years, thousands, and they'd say, "But how could you talk about a unionist viewpoint?" You see, and then this is where I catch them out. You know, and I go, "Well, look, my granddad was a top orangeman. I lived in fucking Taggers Bay. I spent as much of my life with my Protestant relatives as I did with my Catholic friends and relatives, you know. So that's just a good thing about when I write On the Brinks. You know, I can see both sides of it. Now, tell the way it is. A lot of people don't like what I wrote, you know, but when you're a writer, you don't really give a crap what critics are going to say. You know, I wrote that book to be as truthful as I could, you know.
Yeah, and that's something that really shone through, and you know, your honesty, you're sticking to the cause no matter what, you know, you're willing to put your life on the line, which you have, which you document this really, really well. And even following your stuff on social media, you don't give a fuck, you know. Is your life still in danger to this point now? Because you're blatantly, you don't care, you're telling the truth.
Well, last week I got these threats sent to me on Facebook, pictures and all that. Guy was going to kill me, he's going to shoot me. He says, "No, you're not even worse, you're going to cut your throat." Then the next day, we're watching me, you know where you live and all this here. And these are all, I was sending them to Facebook, Twitter, and what they told me was, "Oh, we will block these people, but you have to go to the police." Now, you can't tell me to go to the fucking RUC, because I'm not going to go to the RUC and tell them anything, because the RUC would set me up, you know. But these are the sort of things that I live under as threats, you know. And here we'll have pictures, actual pictures of guys threatening me to what they're going to do with me when they get me, you know. But not a thing has been done about it. I send them to the media here in Belfast, and they didn't even publish it, didn't publicise it. Now, if I was a politician, see every time there's an election here, mysteriously all these politicians are standing for elections, they're threatened. You know, bullshit, of course, it's all publicity, but the newspaper gives them front page news, even though it's bullshit, they know it. Now, here's me being threatened, well known, I'm an international writer, and not a peep for the media. So it's scandalous, absolutely scandalous.
Like, I mean, you're like, I've read the book, I've listened to your interview with James English. You're openly, honestly, you criticise the likes of Sinn Féin and that movement, those people down in the south. If I dare mention the name of the IRA or say anything bad, it's like what's that film? There's a couple of films you can't say things 3 times, and they turn up at your door. So does that threat apply to you?
Yeah, well, the threat, I've had threats from Sinn Féiners, you know, but it doesn't bother me, because the Sinn Féiners have threatened me are what I call Johnny-come-latelys and draft dodgers. They never got themselves involved in the war, and once the war was over, suddenly they were the greatest Irish men ever, you know. They were all hiding behind the sofas now during the war, when the bombs, you had to go out and friggin', you know, carry out military operations against the British and all, you know. These guys were hiding, you couldn't find them. Now the war's over, they're the greatest Irishmen you could ever meet, you know. If you listen to them, you know, and these are the ones that threaten me. They're cards or rats, you know, and I don't give a shit, you know. The good guys, the good Republicans that I've been in prison with, they mightn't agree with me. You know, I've made disagreement with Sinn Féin about the Good Friday Agreement with Jerry Adams and McGuinness and all, you know, and I've spoken publicly, you know, what I've said about it. But I still have friends who are Sinn Féiners, my brothers are strong Sinn Féin supporters, and I'm not, like, you know, but I still remain friends with a lot of Sinn Féiners, you know, and they know a lot of shit that I had to listen to. I mean, we had the biggest farce here a couple of weeks ago, where the war criminal Lizzie Windsor died, and you had Sinn Féin meeting their son, who was the commander-in-chief of the paratroopers who murdered 14 people, unarmed citizens, men and children in Derry. And now we have Sinn Féin shaking the hands of this chap. This guy's mother gave the paratroopers medals for murdering 14 people in Derry. You know, I was in Bloody Sunday in Derry, all night, Jerry Adams and the rest of them. I was there, you know, I could hear the shots, I smelt the gas, you know. My father thought I was dead because of news flashes. Myself and my brother went down. I was only a wee lad, 15, you know. But these are things that stick in my head. So when I get criticism from these I call them draft dodgers and Johnny come latelys, you know, because they weren't involved in the war.
Fucking love it.
You know, so they know it, and that's why they hate me, because they can't criticise me for that. You know, they'd love to be able to say something about it. The only thing you get the moan about is me doing the Brinks robbery. They say, oh, you're a criminal. You know, you went and done the Brinks fucking robbery. I said, well, at least I had the decency to wear a mask. All you wore is a beard. You know, so they fucking hate me, like, and I don't give a shit. I'll keep saying it.
And that comes across, like, your social media stuff. You're willing to take it for you on the book stuff here. Where did your connection to the IRA, your activity, when did that all start? At what age?
It started pretty young, really. In my house, my brothers were socialists. My father was a socialist. Didn't know what socialism meant. I didn't care about socialism. I was only like 14. You know, all I really was interested in was girls and disco and having a few beers, you know, up the entry. That was about all I was really interested. My brothers were very politically aware, and they're always trying to tell me about the conditions narcissists and Catholics are living here. We're living like shit. We're second-class citizens. Do you know what that means? You know, you're getting the shittiest jobs. You're living in the worst housing, leaks, no holes everywhere. You can't get a decent job. You know, you've got a fucking great brain. You know what I mean? But I had no interest. As I say, my brother there one day, he says, "I'm going to show you something. I'm going to show you what's happening in this country of ours, you know." And I didn't care. He says, "I'm taking you to Derry." I didn't know where Derry was. All I knew was from getting out of Belfast. He had just bought this wee second-hand mini, you know. He said, for me, I was a day out. I'm going to Derry. I couldn't shut up talking about it. You know, I knew it was next week, but here's me, fuck, going to Derry. I'm going to Derry. Tell my mate's going to Derry. And I said, "Where the fuck's Derry?" I said, "Don't know, it's down the Free State somewhere, you know."
It's a free state.
But went to Derry on that day, and it was Bloody Sunday. Just as fate. And I'll never fucking forget the shots and the smell. And I remember I was trying to get back home through and getting harassed by the fucking RUC and the UDR and all. You know, we're getting, my brother and all were getting beat up and all, because they didn't want us to go into this big civil rights protest was gathering in Derry at the time, the Bogside and Craic and all. I remember getting home after it, and my father, the first time ever I saw my father cry, my father's a hard man. He would never cry, he was crying. And when we opened the door, he hugged me. The first time he ever hugged me in his life. He was listening to the radio about all these people being murdered in Derry. He thought we were murdered. You know, thought me and my brothers were all fucking dead, you know. And that was the first time I ever seen my father cry. You know, it scared the crap out of me, you know what I mean? But that brought home to me, that was one of the things that brought home to me what I was living under. The oppression of 100 years of unionism, sectarianism, you know, the nightmare. And then a week later, I had just left school. I got a job in a slaughterhouse, horrible. But that's the only kind of job I could get as a Catholic. And it was a very dangerous place because 90% of it was loyalists. So it was a very dangerous place, but you had to take whatever job you could get. And I had a friend, Jim Kerr, he was only 15, 16 like me. And he got a job working on a garage, and I was very envious, you know, fixing motor cars and all. He was telling me, he says, "Listen, son, don't worry about it. Give me a couple of weeks to get into this job, and then I'll get you in." I said, "Oh, fuck, Jim, bring it in," you know. 2 days later, he was murdered by loyalist terrorists, shot 6 times in the face for being a Catholic up a Lisburn Road. He was working on the car, next thing I pulled him out, shot him 6 times and just threw him back under. You know, it was, they threw him back under like he was dirt, you know, just fucking right on the car. So we're Bloody Sunday, and the sectarian murder Jim, we Catholic, you know, same as me at the time. That changed me. That was me finished. Absolutely fucking finished. You know, I had a friend who was in the Republican movement, came over to me. We were at the funeral, at Jim's funeral. He says, Sam, what are you gonna do about what's happening here? We're all gonna be murdered. Your family's next, your cousins are next, your next door neighbour. What are you going to do? I said, what could I do? Well, I can't do anything. He said, well, you can join the IRA. I said, well, I didn't know who the fuck the IRA was, you know. The IRA wasn't spoken of in our house, you know. Well, that I know my father was in the IRA, but we never spoke about the IRA. You know, I didn't know anything about my father's, what he was up to, you know what I mean? It was all very, very quiet, you know. And he said, well, we can do this, we can defend our areas. They come in, we fucking shoot them, you know. So that sounded, fuck, yeah, of course. And that's really a start of me joining the Republican movement, my first enter to be a Republican, you know.
And that's something I noticed in the book, you know, even when you talked about being on the protest, a lot of the IRA people, they didn't know each other.
No, it was very, very secretive.
I couldn't get my head around, like, you know, you think of an army, you think they all know each other, this regiment, they all know. The army was very, very cloak and dagger, or the IRA was very cloak and dagger, you didn't know who was in it.
They were in those days,
Yeah.
in the early 70s, you know. But as they took on more recruits, because you know people were seeing what was happening, houses being burnt, Catholic areas, whole areas, streets all being wiped out, you know. Catholics being murdered left, right, and centre. There was no IRA at this time, weren't doing anything, you know. Well, people started to get afraid, you know, and had their own reasons for joining the IRA, but the IRA had such recruits, they couldn't handle it. So what you have, you're bringing people in who are scum. They're there for the wrong reason, and at the end of the day, some could become potential touts, informers to the British, which is what happened. I believe they took in too many people at one time, you know, instead of, because you used to have a very, like, a take you in, but for a couple of months before you actually get in, to check out what you were up to, who you were, what type of person you were, who did you run around with, did you drink, did you gamble, what's your weak points, could you be blackmailed, you know? It takes a long time to get you clearance, you know what I mean? But then when I was in it, there were so many people, there was thousands of people trying to join the IRA because they thought, well, I'm going to defend my street, I'm going to, you know, whatever reason I had, you know. But I always thought in the back of my head, you know, this is potential damage down the line because you're bringing in people who've got an alternative motive. They're not there to fight to try and get the freedom of Ireland, get the Brits out or whatever it may be. They've all other reasons behind it, you know what I mean? And basically, that's what happened, you know, because down from the 80s onwards, we had an awful lot of the wrong people in the Republican movement, an awful lot.
What was the conversation then with your dad? Did you go and tell him, look, I've joined?
I did, and I'm talking to my father, not knowing he's a top IRA man, you know?
Crazy.
So I'm saying, look, Dad, I have something to tell you, and he's saying, right, go ahead. He already knows, you know what I mean? He knows that I was approached, you know? He goes, well, why do you want to join the IRA? Why would you want to? You know, it's a very dangerous, you'll be killed, you could be killed any day. You know, it's not like you see in the movies all romantic and all nonsense. He says it's a very dangerous profession if that's what you're going to do. Well, why do you want to do it? I said, well, my mate Jim was murdered and I want to get him. He says, so you're in it for revenge? I says, yeah. I said, no, you can't join the Republican movement if you want in for revenge. That's not what you're joining the Republican movement for, you know? He says, you come back to me. You go down, you start studying some books. I'm going to give you a couple of books to go down to the library and pick up. You start studying them, you come back with me. You start, I'm going to ask you the same question. So I couldn't talk to him. I said, don't come near me again for another couple of months. You know, if you're going to talk about that. And at the same time, I don't know he's in there. So he knows all my movements, what I'm doing, what I said to the guy, my schoolmate. He knows exactly what I said to my schoolmate. Goes and tells me that what somebody said to me, you know.
Oh, fuck.
But that was the start of it, you know.
Yeah, what books did he tell you to go read?
Pardon?
What books did he tell you to go read?
Okay, he told me first of all to start off with Walter Mackin's books. I don't know if you know Walter Mackin, right?
No.
See, this is why you're from a free state too, right?
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why you don't know Walter Mackin. Walter Mackin is one of the greatest Irish writers of all time. He was banned by the Free State. He wrote the greatest books ever. The Wind That Shakes the Barley.
I've heard of
You
it.
know, The Far People.
I've seen the film.
And when I started to read his books, I could not, but this was in Ireland I did not know about.
Yeah.
You know? About the Civil War, the War of Independence, things like this here. And I was fucking hooked on this fucking stuff, Walter Mackin. I used to talk to people later from down south and I said, Walter Mackin? Yeah. One of the greatest fucking Irish writers of all time. He's from Galway, I think it's Galway, I'm not too sure about that there. But he's been shunned by the Free State government. Banned, you know, books. Oh yes, you can get them now, but at the time he went under a lot of fucking stress, you know what I mean? His books weren't broadcast, you know, like have James Joyce and all, like everybody fucking heard of James Joyce and all that fucking shit, you know. But Walter Mackin, one of the greatest writers ever, and if people go, well, Dr. Mac, I never heard of him.
Yeah. I was
Disgraceful, like.
I was ignorant to fucking 90% of what went on up here. Only over the last few years I interviewed my pal Liz Gillis, who wrote books on women of the rise, and you know the books. I've read your book. I'm reading Charlie Wan, and another few bits. What I'm learning is phenomenal. What I didn't see growing up is incredible. As a Free State man.
It's not your fault, it was the government down there.
There's a bit of shame in me for that.
No, I know, there's no shame in you, there's no shame in the ordinary person, because it's, you know, you had the Catholic Church and you had the Free State government, which were practically fascists, you know, and they weren't allowing any sort of Republican voice being heard down there. Very suppressed everything, you know, and they also suppressed everything about what was going on in the north. We were being murdered here, left, right, and centre, with no guns at the time, you know. Fucking baseball bats and stones, and you know, you're up against the RUC or machine gun. I mean, what they did to us was fucking horrendous, you know, horrendous. And we used to think, why's our brothers and sisters down south not helping us? You know, what the fuck? And little did we know, they hated us as much. This is what we've seen. They hated us as much as the fucking unions hated us. So here we're stuck between unions and people in the Free State, and we're thinking, what do we fucking do to deserve this? We're getting it from all sides. We're defenseless here. Nobody's coming to our defence, you know? And that's the way it was. But I don't blame people in the Free State, because that's the way the government brought it up. Very suppressive and very fascist, you know, about what you could read and what you can, you know, they've changed so much. Historians are, so-called historians working for them, and they're trying to change everything, history books and all that. It's, to me, a war crime. A war crime, see, when you try to change a history book, that's unforgivable. You have to show the way a country is, warts and all, everything, the bad and the good. I mean, you try to change that there, you know, and to make out 26 counties as Ireland, that's fucking absolute bullshit. 32 counties as Ireland, you know, and people, I hear people go, and the Republic football team, and I go, whoa, what's that? The Republic football team, they won it. I said, where's this Republic football team? Where the fuck's that? I've never heard that before. So I said, Republic? I said, no, Republic football team. I said, and there's 32 fucking counties, it'll be a Republic, you know? That's when it'll be a country, you know? It's a fucking bullshit made up by the Brits, you know? 26 counties was made by the Brits, you know? Artificial fucking satellite, you know? Same as the 6 counties, you know? So that's what we've been up against, you know? And I say, you know, I take up my hats off to my people for what they endured.
Yeah. What was your first, like say, mission or first job to do, or?
I'll not talk, I don't really talk about missions, you know, what I did,
Okay.
you know?
Yeah.
But I would say, I became known as a fearless fighter.
Okay.
I started getting building a reputation. I wanted a reputation. I didn't look upon it, oh look at me, everybody. But I knew when something had to be done, I did it, you know? You know, Britt said later, I was one of the most dedicated terrorists that they were up against. Now they used the word terrorist, this is what they said when they were putting me in prison, you know? But I just did what I had to do. And I was always shading myself, you know? You're going out there with bombs or guns, you're always thinking, these fucking bombs are going to go off my face. I'm going to be shot dead today, this is the last day I get to see my dad, you know? You're not telling anybody where you're going, this is the last time I have a conversation with my best mate. He doesn't know what I'm doing, you know? So you're always having all this shit in the back of your fucking head. It's not romantic about it, but you did it because you knew it had to be fucking done. That's why I was brought up. My father brought me up that way. You know, your conscience is the ultimate guide. If you believe you're doing the right thing, you do it. If you think you're doing the wrong thing, you don't do it. And I live by it. That was my creed forever. That's what I still live by it today, you know.
And that's what I loved about the book, and the way you talk about your honesty and your candour with your vulnerability and your, you know, you were shitting where I would thinking you just rage and you're gonna go do this, you don't give a fuck. But like anything you've done in life, you've talked about your fear and the barriers, but you did it anyway, which is incredible.
Well, it's incredible madness, you know what I mean? Because, you know, we've all got the instinct of being afraid, and it's getting you to survive, so you don't do stupid things. You don't go in the lion's den, you know. You don't say, well, I'm not scared of lion. That's stupid. That's why we're all given this fear, so they know to be reluctant and to think twice before we do it, you know. But at times I never thought about it, you know. I just went head on and looked at the danger, you know. People would say dangerous things, but I had to do it too, you know. As I say, I believed in it, didn't care if I died, you know, because I believed in what I was doing.
Viktor Frankl says, if we have our why, we'll endure any pain.
That's right.
And you clearly have your why.
We have that. That's a terrific statement, because when you know you're in the right, what you believe in, nothing can change you, nothing can break you, nothing can destroy you. and nobody can take it away from you because it's inside, just like a soul. Nobody can see it, nobody can change it, take it away, you know. But you know in yourself, your belief. See now when I was on a blanket, I mean, they were beating me every day. I was naked. They were torturing me every day for years, and they couldn't break me. They couldn't fucking break me, you know. And not because I'm a hard man, far from it. It's just my belief that this is my country, and you think you're going to beat me into submission? Are you fuck? You know.
Yeah, here's the back of my neck. Can we talk about your experience of prison? You were in Kesh.
I was the first nationalist to be done under the non-jury courts called Diplock here. Disgraceful. You have this fucking judge, so-called judge, you know, you don't have a jury for your own peers who's going to see whether you're guilty or not, you know. So he's already got you down as guilty because he's working for the British government, you know what I mean? And it's a total farce. You're going in there and he's got you convicted, you don't get a say in it. And the first time I was out in front of Diplock, 1973, was the first nationalist, the first Catholic ever to face it. I was up for membership of the IRA. There's no proof I was in the IRA. You know, it didn't need to have proof. All I needed was a cop who just says, yeah, he's in the IRA, seen me already talking such and such, he's in the IRA, you know what I mean? Well, what did I do? Can you tell me one thing that I did? Well, it didn't have to. You were sitting talking to Johnny Murphy. Everybody knows he's a Republican, but they couldn't prove anything. So my lawyer at the time, solicitor, says to me, well, you're probably going to get fined £30. Now £30 in 1973 was a hell of a lot of money. And I was scared because he'd me, where the hell am I going to get £30? Where's my father, my family going to raise £30? You know, this is what's going through my head. But our judge, he sorted that out. He gave me 8 years.
I couldn't get my head around 8 fucking years.
And he says, you are a dedicated terrorist. I have your record here. I've seen the things, the Secret Powers Act. I've seen them all here. I've read all about you. All fucking nice. But he got away with it, you know what I mean? The bastard, Laurie, his name was, always a member of the fucker, you know what I mean? And then he died. I wanted to go and get his fucking grave and dig him up, you know? And just fucking slap him about the fucking face, even though he's fucking dead, like, you know? But just a hateful bastard could sit there and send a young boy to fucking jail. You know, jail to me, what the hell's this jail? It's a frightening thing, going to prison, like, you know what I mean? Never, ever in my life in trouble, you know? All of a sudden I was, and it was the start of my journey into prisons, you know. 8
years you doing, and you started off in Crumlin Jail or the Kesh?
Crumlin Road at the start where Remand you, and then you go to Long Kesh, which is the cases at the time we had political status. And there you meet teachers and all who are in the Republican movement. They're in there and they're starting to teach. That's really where I got my education from, my further education, you know, from professors and English teachers and all inside Long Kesh. But after that I was out about a year. And I was captured this time by a British foot patrol on the New Lodge where I come from, and had a van.
Was this after your 8 years?
This is after I got out. And then I was caught, my comrades and I were caught with little bombs and machine guns. We were usually informed on, you know what I mean? So, but we had a bit of fisticuffs with the British foot patrol, you know, we all jumped out of the van, we started fighting, you know what I mean? And it was adrenaline. It wasn't fucking courage on my behalf. I jumped out there and I was terrified. I just seen them as they're going to shoot me dead here. There was fucking 12 of them, you know, British heavy armed foot patrol, and there was only 6 of us. And we just jumped in, and they were shocked because we jumped right out of the fucking van, right into them, you know. And they were all so confused. They got weapons, and we were punching them. They're fucking punching us, you know. It was fucking hate. It was just terrible. But I remember running, waiting to get my head blown off. British soldier, you know, because I wouldn't stop. And I just remember running to the house. And this woman took me in. It's closed at the door, the next thing the helicopters are all over the place looking for us. And I remember the British foot patrol coming down to the doors and rapping all the doors, kicking them in, searching for us, because this was in the New Lodge, and they were searching for us and they came to the house that we were in. And I knew, here's me God, I'm going to be shot dead. At the very least, they're going to shoot us dead, you know what I mean? And I remember the wee woman coming to the door and going, oh, I hope you get them bastards, son. They're nothing but troublemakers. And the British wouldn't come in. They never come into the house. I'll never forget the wee woman going, please get them bastards, son. They're not troublemakers. I was terrorised, you know? And she just closed the door and here she was. You know? I'll never forget her, you know? What a woman. Typical Irish woman, you know? Typical Irish woman.
Fuck.
You know? But that was one of the things, that was my guardian angel who always seemed to be looking after me, you know?
Yeah.
You know?
That's incredible.
Yeah.
And did you chat to her afterwards, or what?
No, always meant to go back, but
yeah,
you can't do things like that, you know? Because I was just back doing operations and I was on the run after that, and then I got caught again, of course, as usual, you know? This time went in 20 years or whatever it was, and the H blacks, forgot about it, it was a nightmare.
Like let's stay with the George and we'll build up to the hate, but I still can't get my head around another human being, the judge, and we'll talk about the prisoners or the screws. How could somebody hurt somebody so bad? Like, you know, I know you had your boy and you do it. Was their boy to hurt people? I don't know. I just can't. Why would the judge do that? 8 years for a young boy.
You and I couldn't do that. We weren't brought up that way. But they're brought up in a different way. Their parents were probably like that, you know. Think of what he did to my family. He destroyed my father. When I went to prison, he destroyed my father, you know. He destroyed my brothers and sisters, you know what I mean? I mean, fuck my hell. I mean, I was expecting to get fined. Next thing I'm in fucking prison, you know what I mean? So this is this guy, and then he goes and has his lunch. Goes and meets his family, you know, has a nice sit down with him on the sofa or wherever the hell he lives, you know what I mean? That's what you're living under.
How did you handle 8 years? What got you through that?
Well, a lot of my friends were in prison at this time, political prisoners, you know. Once again, there's no self-pity. You know, you can't have self-pity in prison, full of IRA, man. You know, they wouldn't tolerate you. You know what I mean? Fuck, they're all going through the same shit here, you know what I mean? But you're with your comrades, and that's different. It's like being with your brothers, you know.
You're well protected in mind.
Oh, yes, of course. We run the prisons, we got the status at the time, you know. We took full control of the prisons at that time, you know what I mean? But as I say, you know, you just went through every day, took it every day as it came, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And then you went to what's known as the H block.
Yeah, the H blocks was a different kettle of fish altogether.
And that's where it really seen the deprivation and the cruel and the humanity and the evilness of prison guards. Or human beings. I don't want to brand all prison guards, but these bastards. How'd you do that to someone and even people coming from the Free State to do this work, to get more money.
Gaelic speakers
I couldn't fucking get my head around that.
Fucking Gaelic speakers up listening to us talking Gaelic because the Brits used to wonder what the fuck are we saying when we're speaking Gaelic to each other. So what they did then, they got a load of screws out of my jaw. Brought them fucking up Gaelic speakers and started listening to conversations, you know.
Like, there was times I read the book, I cried. I was raging. I was like, what the fuck? I laughed. The humour was a big part of your process.
Yeah, that's what everybody said. Everybody says, Sam, when I read this book, I mean, I hope you don't mind, but I was laughing. I said, fucking glad, I wrote it there. I don't want to be one of these Angela's houses, everybody's depressed. I mean, I'm fucking depressed enough. I don't want to fucking read a depressing memoir, you know what I mean?
Dear.
But to me, laughter is always the greatest medicine you can have. No matter how bad or dark it is, you'll be surprised what's around the corner for you. You know, just get this fucking day through, you know what I mean? 2 days ago, I got a fucking email from a truck driver in England. He was an ex-British soldier served in the north of Ireland. He said, Sam, I was going to commit suicide last week until I seen you on the James English. And I fucking was ashamed of myself. You know, he says, what you endured, you know, sorry for breaking up, you know, because when I read it, I was fucking crying. And I wrote back to him, I says, who would have believed, you know, an IRA man, a British soldier communicate, you know? And I said, you just got to be strong, you've got friends there, and you're going to shatter them, you know? And every day is a good day, because the next day you don't know what's going to happen. I said, look at me, I thought my word at the end, I thought I was in hell when I was in the H blocks, you know? So we've got on the communications now, you know?
Wow. Fuck me, that's incredible.
It is.
What an email to receive.
I couldn't believe it, you know, because I've been getting a lot of emails from this James English interview. I've been getting lots of emails from British soldiers and loyalists, and I can't believe, I was expecting to get dogs abuse. I've got almost 800,000, it's going to be 1 million by Christmas hits on that YouTube of James English, and vast majority it's from serving British soldiers and ex-British soldiers, loyalists, and they said at the start, fuck, when I heard about this IRA man doing this interview, I got on there and I was going to give him dogs abuse. He says, but see, by the end of it, son, you'd changed my mind. You'd actually made me think about what I'd done and about what way I was taking the wrong road. I was shocked. I didn't realise what an impact that interview was going to have on fucking people, for British soldiers and loyalists. You understand? It's fucking incredible for an IRA man to receive that, because I was expecting all sorts of abuse from them, you know? And the exact opposite happened. You know?
Is that because of your just raw honesty, your vulnerability, and showing, you're talking, you know, you're telling it as it is.
Exactly.
And you don't have an agenda other than the truth.
No, there's no bullshit. Because I've told it all from the start. I'm not going to start fucking making them the fairy tales and changing things. You know, I told people mistakes I had fucking made. I've made mistakes, fuck's sake. You know, unbelievable. But I still believe in the human spirit, that there's something there the next day for us, that we can just survive that bad day we're having. There's something happening, because I'm a big believer in that. There's something around the corner, you know. And I've always said the truth. There are people like her and you know, people falling out with me. I've lost a lot of good friends. My family stopped talking to me when I wrote On the Brinks, you know. I was ostracised by ARA men and all this here. But I said to them, tell me something in there that offends you, that it's a lie, that I haven't told the truth. And they didn't at the time. 2 years later, came to me and said, Sam, fair play to you, the balls to fucking do it. I hadn't. But I had to go along with the party line, you know, because I was ostracised in Belfast, you know. Nobody would talk to me in Belfast. It was terrible, you know. But I endured it, because I believed in what I was doing. Didn't give a shit, you know what I mean? Yeah. And then I had the same people who didn't talk to me coming up to me and apologising. So you're 100% fucking right. I just didn't have the balls to go along with you, and I'm ashamed. But that's okay, we all make mistakes, you know?
And I love the fact that you're open to that, you know, there's forgiveness in your heart for that.
Yeah, because who am I? I mean, you know, if you're asking somebody else to forgive you, but you're holding hatred in your heart, how can you expect people to forgive you, you know what I mean? Like, you know, I've made lots of mistakes, you know, I made mistakes against my family, you know what I mean, going to prison and all, and my wife and young kids and all. You know, they went without me. My young son and all didn't see me for years. And then, you know, I'd obviously affected him, you know, man. It's only now I'm talking to him and he's telling me things, and I'm fucking shocked, you know, what I'm hearing, you know.
You didn't see it.
No, but this is it, you know, we all make mistakes, you know.
Would it be okay then to talk about the H block and that
Oh yeah,
experience when you went in there?
Anything you want to talk about, I'm open to it.
Tell us about that, the experience of going in there. I know you were in, you were asked to wear the uniform.
Yeah, the first,
fuck that.
The first, I'll never forget, it was winter, and I just got 20 years or something, I can't remember exactly. But I remember going up, I'd heard the rumours about these H blocks. The H blocks were designed by the Germans during the Second World War to exterminate the Jews. They built these H blocks to make it more efficient, as they called it, you know, and goals and all, you know. And Margaret Thatcher jumped on these plans, and she had them built here for Republicans, for political prisoners. And when she took away political status and tried to make us out criminals, it wasn't going to happen. So we refused to wear a prison uniform. So I remember going up that night. I was in the van with 3 loyalists myself who just got sentenced. I went into the reception up in the H blocks. It's a scary, eerie place, and it was very quiet, you know. And I remember the screw coming up the door, throwing me a brown uniform. He says, get that on, Millar, hurry fucking up, you know. Slammed the door in my face. So he came back about an hour later, picking the loyalists up, bringing them up to the other sections, you know. Next thing I'm still standing there with the civilian stuff on me, you know, from court. He looked at me and says, what the fuck? Do you not hear me? Get that fucking off and get that fucking uniform. I says, I'm not wearing that fucking uniform, I'm not a criminal. Do what I be a fucking man. I said, oh yeah? He says, you'll have that, you'll be wearing that in an hour. So he went away and he got his fucking mitts, you know. I tell you what, it was fucking scary. At 6 I'm coming in and they started beating the fuck out of me. Instead of cubicle, only small things, only about a third of the size of this room, you know. And they started beating and ripping. As they're beating, one's ripping, trying to get the clothes off me and all, you know. Eventually they got me and I was naked. And I said, I don't give a fuck what you do to me. I'm not wearing that fucking uniform, I'm not a criminal, you know. They got me by the ankles. They started trailing me out. Now all this tarmacs here out in the yard. They started trailing me out like a chariot, like a fucking Roman chariot. All my back's all ripped for fucking skin, you know. Just threw me in the fucking van, like, you know, this big metal van, courses and everything, you know. Brought me up on my own, up into the fucking H blocks. As soon as I went up there, like I knew I was in for it. As soon as you walk into this big circle, it's called a circle, but it's actually shaped like a fucking rectangle, but it's called a circle. Yeah. There's about fucking 10 screws with buttons like this, you know? And the governor's sitting there, and the chair, they're all standing behind him with buttons like this. So the next thing they fucking had me in, he's looking at me, all the blood pouring out of me, he says, where'd you get up? What happened to you? Where's all that here? No, I just stared at him, you know, we're fucking disdain, like, you know? One of the screws says, sir, Millar slipped on the van. We tried to help him, but he refused it. We were trying to keep helping him, he kept struggling and all this shit, you know. Okay, he says, you know what I mean? He says, right, Millar, you're being asked to put on this uniform, stop the nonsense, get it on now. And by the way, when you talk to me, call me sir. One thing my father always told me, you call no man sir. And that always stuck with me. And I would, in fact, I was getting big punches, slaps in the head, boots up the arse, you know. I would fucking thing, you know. So the new one guy was there for about a half an hour. It was horrendous, like, you know, it's fucking terrifying, you know, man, I was fucking shattered. Just after getting beat up down the reception, then getting beat up again, you know. I remember just getting trailed down naked. You're naked, you're not, you know what I mean? They're fucking in this wee cell. When I say a wee cell, it's a fucking tiny cell. There's nothing in it. Nothing in it. Think of it. And that was my life for the next fucking 7 years. and every day I was going to get beat up. I was going to get raped by the fucking screws. I was getting beat up. I was going to lose blood. Going to have my teeth kicked out. Going to be fucking tortured every fucking day. Not every week. Every fucking day.
Did you say raped?
Raped, yeah. Well, they're fucking holding you upside down, sticking their fingers in your arse, pretending they're looking for things. Well, how could I have anything? If you're no visits, they don't have anything.
Fuck.
And they're doing this every fucking day. Now, men don't like to talk about this. Is why, see in the book, men came to me years later, because when men got out, their lives were finished. Their marriages were finished. They couldn't handle their wife. They couldn't handle their kids. So marriages broke up, they became depressed, they became alcoholics. You understand?
Oh.
And it destroyed lives, destroyed whole lives. The kids grew up without their father because their father just couldn't handle life anymore after what they went through in his blocks. I remember ex-blanket men coming to me after I wrote the book, you know, and throwing their arms around me and said, "Son, I tried to explain this to my wife, what I went through. Couldn't, you know." And it wasn't until she read the book and then she understood the way I am, you know.
I remember, if we get me memory right, was a mirror on the floor and made you squat down and...
It was a mirror, it was one of many.
One of
One of many things. There was an ambassador we called him a human mort. He had a little fucking noose, like a hangman's noose.
Yeah.
So when you're squatting, he would try and get your dick on the noose. You know, pull it fucking up, you know, like a hangman's fucking noose, like, you know.
Yeah.
So many fucking evil fucking ways of torturing you.
Oh,
Horrendous.
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 So the cell was 6x4
Such a tiny cell, you know.
and 2 years in it, or one?
No, one at the time, because there was only like 10 of us. You know, I was one of the first blanket men.
Yeah.
There was only about 10 of us on the blanket. Later there would become about 300. That would be a couple of years later. You know, more men coming on. More men.
For people that don't know, you wouldn't wear the uniform, so they gave you a blanket, probably only a couple of inches long.
The blanket itself was torture because it's
The
coarse.
wool.
It's like a Brillo pot. I don't know if you know what a Brillo pot is. It's quite a rough steel thing to clean pats. So when you put that on, you're breaking out in a rash. You know, so you're better off without it. You know, that's all part of it because you're just breaking out these rashes, you're scratching all night long, you know, it's torture, you know what I mean? But that's all you had, this little fucking blanket. That's where we became known as a blanket man.
It's like small.
Very, very thick, just to cover your dignity, you know what I mean? So called, you know what I mean? But word got out what we were going through and we got called the blanket man. That's where the name come from, the blanket man. That's a very proud, legendary, because the blanket men are legends in the north of Ireland, you know what I mean? What they went through. Because without the blanket men, Sinn Féin, there would be no Sinn Féin. You know, the blanket men, the hunger strikers, put Sinn Féin in the power where they are now. They're in Stormont, they're going down the Free State government. I mean, they would never have been there except for the blanket men and the hunger strikers. I think I forget that at times, you know what I mean? I think Mary Lou McDonald needs to be reminded now again. You know, Jerry Adams and the rest of that gang, they all need to be reminded. If it hadn't been for us, what we endured, you wouldn't be where you are now, you know?
Fuck. That's incredible.
Yeah, that's the truth.
Am I right in saying that there was no windows on the cell?
No, nothing. You didn't. I had a guy beside me for 6 years. All I heard was his voice. I didn't know what he looked like. You understand? A guy beside me for fucking 6 years. And all I could hear was his voice.
You didn't know what he looked
Didn't know what he
like.
looked like. So your mind's trying to imagine what's that guy look like? Is he a small guy? Is he ginger hair? Is he no hair? Was he a big beard? You know, you hear the voice all the time. You're hearing the different voices. You're trying to picture back guys, trying to get into your head of wee photographs thing going. You know what I mean? Like, but I remember meeting him later. He and I was out getting shaved, and I finally turned around and go. I heard the voice. I said, "Fuck, I recognise that voice. He's got a big, growly voice, you know." And I'm thinking, this guy's about 6'6", you know, big muscular guy. And he's only a wee fucking small guy, you know. He said, "What the fuck are you looking at me?" You know what I mean? I said, "Are you fucking teapot?" He said, "Oh, what about it?" You know. I said, "Fuck, I thought you were about 6'6". I said, "You've a cheek, look at all size of you." You know. But that was it. That's how you went by voices. You didn't know what the person looked like. It's fucking mad when you think about it.
Unreal. So no windows on the cell. It's winter, obviously.
Winter had these plastic things. See, the winter came, they took them off, so you were getting the wind. The winters, I never felt cold like it in my life because of the piss and shit, because you weren't let out. Piss and the shit on the walls, because you're not letting the screws aren't letting you out to go to the toilet. You had to do it all in your room, in the cell that you're in, you know? So the whole walls are covered by your own shit.
You couldn't throw it out the window?
Well, at the time, at the start we did, because that's the only option we had, but then they came and boarded it up with these big plastic sheets, you know?
Okay.
So what happened there, during the summer, they put the heat on full blast. Now, me and you came in here, and the heat in this room was multiply it by 20 times, trying to breathe, there's no air. That's what we were living on during the summer. Put the pipes up full blast, the windows were all locked, couldn't open, couldn't do anything to them, you know. During the winter, all the windows were taken out, and you were getting a fucking north wind coming into you during the winter. We had one of the harshest winters, coldest winter. I'll never forget my skin sticking to my feet to the piss. The piss froze over. It's like an ice rink, and my feet were stuck to it, and the skin's ripping off as you're trying to get your feet back out of it, and you're just thinking, God, why are you doing this to me? Just kill me. Stop being so vindictive. I just say, God, you're the evil one. You're torturing us here. Get it over with. Come on, do it right. You know, I just say, come on. Why do you want to torture us every day? I thought you were good. I thought you were supposed to be a good God, and you're full of goodness for people, and yet you're watching this going on day after. I thought I was dead. I thought I was in hell. I thought maybe I'd committed these terrible sins and I was dead, and I had to be dead.
This was hell.
It was hell. It had to be hell. I hadn't seen my family, no visits. Hadn't seen my family in fucking 7-8 years. You know.
Because there was no visits allowed.
I thought maybe I must be dead because I haven't even seen anybody I know. You know. All I'm hearing is these voices and getting tortured every fucking day. So this can't be right. This is all surreal. You know, this is like some of a fucking horror movie. You know what I mean? But it was real. Fucking real, alright. You know. It's terrible.
Like I remember you in the book talking about that the heat was on and you had to fill the walls and the ceiling with shit, and then it was flaking down, coming into your mouth, and
then you had all the maggots, the flies, they're coming into your mouth. You're waking up in the morning, all the fucking maggots coming out of your fucking nose, in your ears, in your mouth. It was just everything that could be done against it. There's a guy, and I know you're not a Bible man, but there's a guy in the Bible. I only have respect for this one person in the Bible. It's called Job. There's an old thing called the patience of Job. Now God sent him all these fucking horrendous things. You know, his wife was murdered, his kids were murdered, all his properties taken off him. He lived on a dung heap. That's where it's the only place he could live on, this big pile of shit, and it had warts and all. And the devil used to come and say, I'm going to give you back everything that you had, 10 times plus. You're going to be the richest man in the land. All I want you to do is curse God, and I'll give you all that. Job said, no matter what you do to me, I'll never curse God. At that instant, God gave him back everything, because God was testing him to see how far he could push him, you know. And I used to think, fuck, maybe I'm Job. Maybe God's really pushing me. I know it sounds dead corny, not a Bible thumper.
I love it.
But I used to say, fuck, maybe I'm Job here, maybe I'm being tested. But I thought, for fuck's sake, God, I know you're going to test me. This is going on for years. This isn't just a couple of weeks, you know. But that's a guy, I say, you know, Job, he's a fucking guy who went through hell, you know.
You just said that you're not a Bible basher. I'm sensing the disdain from the Catholic Church. I know from your book, but you have got a connection to God. I hear you speak about that a bit.
Yeah, it's God, but it's not the God controlled by any church.
Is it?
Especially not the Catholic Church.
Why is that?
Catholic Church, don't forget, it was a Catholic priest that invaded the English here over 300 years ago in the 1700s to civilise the savage Irish. That's what he asked the English to do as a priest. Asked the English, come into this place called Ireland, they're savages, civilise them. Well, we all know what happened fucking Ireland when the English fucking came, okay. You know? So that was the start of it. But up here in the north, the fucking church has never ever spoken out against Unionist terrorists or British terrorism, but Republicans every fucking day slobbering about Republicans, criticising anybody who stands and defends our areas, you know what I mean? Yeah. They've never done a fucking thing. I hate them with a passion, you know? Don't hate British soldiers and loyalists, but I hate the fucking Catholic Church. I'd love to close them all down for what they've done to our people up here in the north. But thankfully, people now in the north are very educational. They don't go to church anymore. They look through all these priests now with the stain themselves, you know what I mean? They don't need media to educate them. They see themselves what they've done, you know? There is no Catholic Church in the north.
And you got no support from when you were in the protest?
No, fuck no, they hated you. I mean, a couple of priests that came, the only time one of them came, I remember one of them, we called him the Angel of Death.
I was going to ask about him.
And the only time you seen this bastard, this was a so-called priest, the only time you seen him is when somebody died belonging to you. He'd make his way in to tell you the person died, you know. So I remember I was sitting in the fucking cell and I could hear a priest on the wing, you know, somebody seen him coming in. Here's me, fuck, some poor bastards, family member, daddy or mommy, brother or sisters died, this fucker's coming in. Next thing I hear little keys rattling outside my door, what the fuck's going on here? Next thing the door opened, my cell, all the screws are standing there saying, Mother, get back down, wall, get back down, because they're terrified of you. And I think you're going to jump out on them, you know, because we're terrified of us. I mean, we're having standing here naked, we're standing there with buttons, and they're fucking terrified of me, you know. They're saying, get back, Mother, get back. So I get back to the fucking wall, thinking they're coming in to give me a good fucking beating. Next thing is priest sort of out, jukes in, he looks in there, he looks at all the shit in the wall. You see the hit he had in there, eye for you, and I'm like, fuck, these are animals, how do you live like this, you know what I mean? He says, I've got a bit of news, sad news for you. Here's me, fuck, my dad's dead. You know?
Big sad.
Yeah, here's my dad's dead. I'm not going to show these fucking screws. It's hurting me, you know? He was, your mother's dead. So I looked down and said, what? She said, your mother was found dead down in Dublin. And I was fucking shattered, because here's me thinking, fuck, all this time she's been down in Dublin. It's never contacted us. 40, 50 years ago. Never once sent us a letter, contacted a friend to say, look, I'm alright, I'm going through depression, I'm doing this, or I love you all, I just can't face this, but I'm alive and I'm well. No, it's made us all fucked up our heads, you know what I mean? So I just said to myself, nah, I said, my mother died 50 fucking years ago, you know, I told me to get the fuck out, you know. And that's what I remember a priest, but I never done a fucking thing to you. Never condemned the screws, never made them. The only one I ever did was Cardinal O'Fake. I'll have to say that, Thomas O'Fake. He was the Archbishop of Armagh, I think at the time, and he came in and he could not believe what he seen, the way we were living, you know, the conditions of it. He says he had spent years in Calcutta, in the sewers, in the slums. He says it's nothing compared to what I saw today in the Hades blocks, what them men are going through. And that's the first time the Catholic Church ever said a statement exposing what was going on to us. It was the only one, never again.
How long after was that?
It was about 6 years. Coming when it was really coming near the hunger strike or something, you know, building up people outside were.
Oh, how long after he released that statement? Was it literally after he came in, or did he leave?
Well, he released it that day.
Oh, right, okay.
Well, the press was waiting outside, and the word press was outside waiting for him to hear what he was going to say. The Brits were trying to make us into propaganda. You know, they were trying to put in books and all. We never had a fucking book. I haven't had a book in fucking 8 years. Pencil. Nothing. Never seen a page, never seen a newspaper. No radio. No fuck all.
You didn't know what was going on outside?
No, had a clue. Seeing people talk about, oh, did you ever see how Dallas, no, JR was killed? And I said, who the fuck's JR, you know? And you hear all these people talking about these shows, and you're thinking, fuck, I never meant, because you were frozen in time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I remember getting out, and I still had the stuff, the clothes that I wore fucking 15 years ago, and my mates were all laughing. You know, I said, for fuck's sake, Sam, you're wearing bell bottoms. You know, look at you in the stadium.
No way.
Oh, because it was like a time capsule. You were stuck in a time capsule. You were getting out, because my mates had to take me into town to get me clothes and all, because I was still wearing the fucking shit that was the rest of it, you know. Well, it was good laugh, like, but at the time you're thinking, fucking, it's like you step back into time, all of a sudden now you're in the future, you know. Yeah. Bizarre, like, you know.
What got you through the protest, the blanket, you know, I know humour and the banter between you and communicating, and give us a little insight to that.
Listen, people say, Sam, I couldn't have done what you done. And I say, you don't know. You do not know. People who think, fuck, I couldn't do 2 days that. No way. You'd be surprised what you can do. You see the human spirit. Because I realised there's things coming to me. And I don't, my whole body and mind was changing. And because I was thinking, God, I'm not going to be able to do this here. You know? Can you kill me? If I could do, how could I commit suicide here in that cell that has nothing?
That's what I was going to ask you. Ever think of taking your life?
All the time. There was a card, couldn't do it. Because I was trying to figure out, how can you kill yourself in here? How can you do it? There's nothing here to kill yourself with, you know what I mean? And here's me, fuck. If I could commit suicide, I said, God, come on, do it, please, kill me, let me do something, you know what I mean? Because I remember one night just down all the piss, was down on top of it, so much piss, and I said, God, please, let electricity or something hit me in the head, just to electrocute me, you know what I mean? Just kill me. Do me a favour, please, get me, because I can't do it anymore. But you just did it, you know? You had your comrades with you, plus you had that Irish resilience and Irish cheekiness that the British weren't going to defeat me, no matter what the fuck I did to me. This is my country, this is my place. You aren't going to do it, you aren't going to defeat me, you know what I mean? And they didn't, they couldn't defeat us. They spent fucking millions trying to break us, they couldn't do it.
Like, you got people coming up from the south, you prisoners or prison guards coming from all across, you know, England, just to try break you, and to get more money for that.
They were getting bounties.
And they were telling you, my wife's going on holidays, they're buying cars.
Just back there from Spain, me and the wife and the kids, you know, we stayed in this lovely hotel. Thanks to you, because we're getting so much money now, I don't know what to do, I'm buying a wee car next week. Thanks to you, and all this here. And said, look at you, look at your man, Daz, I'd be ashamed of you, look at this lying there and shit, you know. I wouldn't allow my kids to lie there and shit, that's because you're a fucking cowardly bastard, like, you know what I mean, like, you're in torturing people, you're a fucking screw.
And would you talk back to them, or would you?
Oh, I was giving them dogs abuse, they thought I was a madman, Because I used to fucking scream and growl at them, open the door now, face to face, come on, face to face. Of course, they wouldn't their cars, you know what I mean? Fuck, you know. But I used to say to myself, what the fuck got into here? You know, afterwards, are you fucking crazy about them? You just calm fucking down. But there's this thing in you, it's like a fucking grizzly bear. You become this great grizzly fucking bear.
You probably look like a fucking grizzly bear with your beard and hair.
Exactly, like fucking caveman, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's funny, like, but everybody says, you know, when they talk to you, I couldn't. I said, listen, you don't know what you could do. You don't know the human spirit, what you can endure. Because if somebody had told me before I went on the blanket protest, you're going to go through 8 years of torture, I probably would have went on the blanket. I would have said, fuck, are you crazy? See if they had showed me in the movie, that's what you're going to go through every fucking day. I would have said, are you fucking crazy? No way.
I wouldn't be able
to
do that.
No way would I do it. But seeing you're there every day, you're just taking day by day, you know?
I see that there was always a dem, you know, and great managers and over the years have created this dem against us and yous work together.
Yeah.
Even against what I hope I get this right, the squeaky booters.
Oh yeah, fuck's sake.
People that just give it up.
Yeah.
You know, and you know you have hostility towards them, but you let that go.
A terrible hatred for men that came off, you know, because at the time you're hitting everybody. You're trying to think, why am I here?
Yeah.
How can I endure it? And you're taking yourself off, because every time a man came off a protest, the screws beat you more because they thought they were winning. They think, fuck, we're beating them. They're coming off and they're getting bigger bonuses down. 10 down in street 10 them, we have an hour bonus. Get an hour couple off, keep breaking them, because they knew this was a big thing. It was happening outside. Because Sinn Féin was starting to gather support that they never had before in their lives.
Yeah. Because
of what we were going through. You understand, the Brits seen all that. The Brits were getting scared now. They were saying these fucking men are starting to gather support. We're Sinn Féin now. Sinn Féin never had any support, very little support, you know what I mean? So they knew this was a big game. Thatcher knew it was a big game.
Yeah.
That's why I see that 10 men die in hunger strike, you know? She knew what was the stakes were. This was a very high game of poker. Who would break first, you know? So when a man went off, I know now, looking back now, of course, I was quite angry at them, you know, I hated them more than the screws, you know? But I talked to them now, I've talked to them, you know, men have says, no, don't hit people anymore, because that could have been me. Especially a lot of them were married men. I wasn't a married man, I was a single guy. But these guys were under pressure from their wives or kids and hadn't seen them, you know? So the legitimate reasons for coming off, but I didn't want to hear it. Because I said, fuck, I have a fucking reason. My ma just died there. I could say, fuck, I'm suicidal now, my ma's died, I want to come off. I said, but you don't hear me fucking making suicide, you know, making fucking excuses, you know? So it was quite ruthless. You know, I showed no mercy.
It had to be.
Because if you start showing mercy, and our men will start to come fucking off, making more excuses, you know, so you have to be quite ruthless to keep the situation where it is, you know what I mean? But years later, you know, I know a lot of men were ashamed of what they came off. It wasn't till I started, I said, look, Peter, I had a lot of hatred for you, for what you've done, you know, turned your back on your comrades. I mean, these guys had terrible shame for years. I said, but you know something, see if I had been married with 2 kids like you, I wouldn't even be known to fucking protest. So it started, you know, there's a lot of reconciliation.
Isn't it great that you then could see it from a different angle, where before you were just looking through the eyes of your team, but you're going home to a family, friends. That's brilliant.
You're there full of anger for yourself, and you're thinking, I'm going through fucking hell here. And you're way up there now, you're enjoying the TV, you've got the fucking books, you've got visits, you've got good food, you've got everything. And I'm going to expect a beating here any minute now. You understand? And all that resentment, hate building up and everything. These are fucking worse than screws. That was a terrible thing to say, you know. I hate them with comrades, but it's the truth.
Yeah,
the truth.
Look, everything you do is true.
You know, the leadership says, we don't want men saying they hate squeaky booters.
You what?
The leadership sent in messages, you know, saying we don't want anybody saying they hate squeaky booters. That's playing into the hand of the British.
Okay.
But once again, I didn't give a fuck with the leadership. You know, I never really did. I always said what I wanted to say, you know what I mean? No matter what, even though I got into trouble so many fucking times with the leadership, you know what I mean? But I am who I am, you know?
At what point was it then that it was time to up the stakes and go, you know, we're going to go hunger strike? Who made that decision?
It was made, there was always speculation among the men, because we're thinking, what can we do here? We're going to be here for the rest of our fucking lives. Something has to break. We have to fucking do something, you know? And there's talk about a hunger strike. Hunger strikes had succeeded in the past, you know, we got political status through hunger strikes, you know, and we had a good record. But it's a very dangerous fucking thing to think about hunger strike. It's especially with Republicans, because Republicans aren't going to come off. They aren't going to break. We're going to go through our fucking hunger strike to death, you know. So it was whispers like that nobody wanted to really talk about, because nobody said, fucking I don't want that, I don't want fucking hunger strike after what we went through, you know what I mean? But started to get louder and louder talks about a hunger strike. We'll have to force the Brits into something, and that's how it all started, you know.
And you made a decision not to go.
I was asked, you know, quite a few of us were asked, and I thought, you know, give you time to think about it before you say yes or what. It's up to you, you know, it's free choice. I just sit there and think, could I fucking endure that? A fucking hunger strike, not eat, the pain, the suffering, losing your eyesight, your lungs, your kidneys all collapsing, the pain. I mean, fuck no way, you know. I think a lot of people were shocked when I said no, you know. But I was being honest, I didn't want to go on something I wasn't going to go through with it. Understand?
Did you have any shame in not doing that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, big shame, especially when Bobby and Joe, all the lads started down. Fucking terrible shame.
Yeah.
You know? You know, I thought, fuck, I've let them all down. I was one of the first blanket men here. I should have been one at the very start. But you have to think, cold reality, could you endure? And what happens if you break and you come off?
And that's what comes through in all your talk and all the work. You're honest, even to your own detriment. I wouldn't go through that. I'll face the shame, but I wouldn't do it because I won't endure it.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah, no, but when you're facing death, these aren't like wee silly things in life. This is life and death you're talking here. This isn't some sort of fucking wee casual thing. You're going to buy new clothes today or something like that there. You're facing death. Not just death, but death in a horrible way. One of the worst ways you could die. Pain every fucking day. Once you go through that first week, once your body starts collapsing, breaking down, and the calcium and all starts getting eaten away, there's fucking no pain like it in the world. That's what the scientists says around the world who've studied hunger strikers around the world. There's no pain like it. You know? You think about it. And then you're going blind, and you can no longer see what's happening. And the screws are every day leaving soup and all outside your fucking door. Stew, tormenting you. You know? The things that fucking screws they like. Fucking war criminals. They got away with it. War criminals. They got away with it. Who says war criminals don't get away with it? You know, they fucking got away with it.
Wow.
I hate that shit when they go, oh, we'll always track war criminals down to, you know, all this bullshit. I'll fucking show you 220 war criminals right now if you want, you know. Because I see the fuckers now again in the streets and when they can't even look at you know, they're terrified, wonder what you're going to do.
Do you still see them?
Oh yeah, you have to. It's a big, small community. Belfast is very small. You know, when you're going to shopping centres and all, you're running into the fuckers, you know. But sure, when I was in the fucking penitentiary in America, they sent the screws from the Haze Blacks to get me.
I remember.
Which was a fucking history. What the fuck has happened here, you know?
Yeah,
20 years later, here's the fucking screws again. The same fuckers that were torturing me.
Yeah.
You know?
And there was a bit of banter between.
Of course there was, you know, of course there was. You know?
What was it like then when people start passing away, you know, the likes of
Hunger strike?
Bobby and...
It was very depressing. I think it was the most depressing time. Morale was very low. Conversations, I mean, I used to do this thing called a book at bedtime to keep morale up. I used to go out, talk out the door, shout a story out. I used to make up all these stories just to keep a morale going, you know what I mean, call it a book at bedtime, you know.
Brilliant.
And members of McDonald who died in hunger strike, Joe was next door to me, Bobby was next door there, Joe used to say, Sam, get up there and tell us an hour. I mean, Joe, I'm fucking tired, mate. And the screws were giving me abuse, you know, they'd be spitting in your face at the door, they'd be coming right and they'd spitting and get you away from the door because they knew you were trying to boost the morale, you know. I said, Joe, I can't. He said, fuck's sake, Sam, don't be saying you can't. You're fucking up there, you're a fucking blanket. When I get up there and tell the fucking story, you know? So you'd be up telling our fucking story, you know? That's how I became a storyteller. Because I remembered it on my head and all the last stories I told when I was on the blanket, like, you know?
Yeah.
And I remember it one night, after I told a story, I was fucking tired. I knew we were getting a wing shift in the morning, and the wing shift was a nightmare. Because the wing shift meant they moved you from one wing to the next, they cleaned that wing.
Oh, yeah.
But see, when you were going through it, they made you go through the circle.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I had the tables, stripped you, had you naked,
They
covered
kept
your
moving
arse.
and moving, yeah.
And then they give you the fucking force washing, you know, with Brillos and scourging powder.
The Doctor of Death.
Oh fuck, Doctor of Death, that bastard.
The
you know what I mean?
bleach and
Bleach all over, you know.
Yeah,
It's just a horrendous fucking experience, you know. But I remember we're fucking going to have to go through this here tomorrow. I'm fucking tired, I want to just fall asleep for an hour. But then of course Joe's still hammering away at you. Fuck's sake, get up here, you know you have to tell a story here, get the morale going for this wing shift tomorrow, you know what I mean? But I remember by 3 o'clock that morning I heard a couple of men talking, talking to themselves and like trying to keep out the wing shift and going, fuck, wasn't that great? Wasn't that a great story? Millar came out with there, wasn't it? You know, son, he could be a fucking writer. I heard no else is what they were saying. He could fucking be a writer, you know. And it always stuck with me. And in the back of my head, I thought, one day could I become a writer? But I was working class now. I knew I'd never be a writer, you know. But there it was sticking in the back of my fucking head, you know. One day I'd be a writer, you know.
is incredible in the midst of that darkness. And I talk about this when I do courses, and you know, we can find our goals and we can find our purpose in life either through creativity or crisis. You found it in the darkest of places, that I could be a writer. Isn't it gas that you noticed about the oppression and what you were told as a child? I could never be a writer, but yet you had the greatest story to be told.
Well, I was a working class Catholic, and when we were brought up, these aren't good for nothing. You're lucky getting a job in the abattoir, about your limit, you know what I mean? You aren't going to college, you aren't going to university, that was unheard of, you know what I mean? You're not going to have any fucking profession. Be a writer, what are you talking about, you know? So that was in your head as a fucking young Catholic growing up, you could never be anything, you know what I mean? But that's where what fucking end up changing, you know? But it's funny you're talking about the darkness. In France, where I have a massive following of books, literally I've won like 18 literary prizes in France. In France, they call me the Prince of Darkness because of my books are so dark and they love them. They fucking love them, you know?
Do you know what I couldn't get my head around when I've been reading it lately? The protest, what was going on outside. I think somebody wrote the 55 hours of, it's chronological documented of, you know, the activities of Sinn Féin and the council, the War Council and the British government to trying to get you out, and what you weren't being communicated.
Yeah, we weren't told nothing. You know, we're in there, we're
the
head of this war, we're in the spearhead of this fucking war, but we had to hear it second hand. We were never told what was going on, what negotiations, fuck all. It wasn't years later, we started to find out there was negotiations going on to try and end the hunger strikes, you know? And even then when I heard it, I says, oh, what the fuck is that? That can't be true. And the guy that wrote the book, he was ostracized, he was getting dogs abuse because he says an offer was on the table.
What's the book?
It's Blanket Man.
Okay.
God forgive me because I've forgotten his name, he's a good friend of mine. He'd fucking kill me.
You'll come back to
just my mind's froze here at the moment.
Yeah.
But the Blanket Man, you read the Blanket Man.
I'll read it.
Tells you all about the negotiations, what was on the table. And I see when he came out, he wrote that book, he was ostracized and was saying, that's the biggest lot of shit. People wouldn't talk to him, you know what I mean? Then they found out it was fucking true. And just like me, apologies were made.
I couldn't believe this.
But that's what you're up against. You're up against the machine.
The propaganda.
You're up against that. They talk about the British machine of propaganda. Sinn Féin's on equal footing. See when they're out to get you or want to block you from anybody, they're fucking have you out for you, you know? I mean, the ones that give me dogs abuse, they're all fucking Sinn Féiners. You know, ordinary people don't give me dogs abuse, they fucking love the potions that I do, you know? But the ones that give me dogs abuse is Sinn Féiners not using their name, the trolls, you know, their cards. I love that because they're cards, I know they fear me then, you know? If they give me a real name, I would respect them, no matter what they say about me. But when it's a troll, like Jimmy Carrot Head, no, what the fuck is that? Like, you know what I mean? Like they're scared to find out their name, you know? Fucking that's respect. They're terrified of me.
It's fucking. The protest started to come to an end, but then you're involved in.
Well, what happened was the protest. Who decided the protest would come to an end? That's still a mystery. Sorry. They'll come off over there.
Yeah.
Still got a wee spoon.
Yeah, perfect.
What happened was, you know, chronological events, they're hard to really put down when this happened and that part happened. But the hunger strikes ended, didn't get anything, and the OC and outside obviously had to figure out what we do from here. Where do we go? So the OC says, look, we're going to have to do something here because we need volunteers outside. We've got all the good operators inside. We need to get them back out. And he suggested ending the protest. So it was a bit of a fucking what, you know. And the protest, we never got none. What was the point of coming on in the first place? So there's a lot of discussions about coming off. I can see that point of view of ending it to get men out to operate again, because most of the good operators were inside, they'd been captured. That's why the war on the outside had sort of like slowed down a lot, you know what I mean? But I decided into myself, I said, you know, some maybe selfishness, maybe just thinking with my heart instead of my head. I said, nah, I'm not coming off. You know, to myself, I didn't ask anybody or tell anybody else, I didn't try to persuade somebody. I said, but I'm not. So a big count was, took a secret count of everybody, you know, sending, you know, who's coming off, should we all come off, you know? And the majority says, yes, we're coming off. So that was it. The OC says, right, Monday morning, we're coming off. Schools come in, you tell them you're coming off a protest, you go to work, all this bullshit, right? So I said to myself, nah, I'm not coming off, don't give a fuck, you know? I know they're going to hit me. but this is the stuff that I believed in. I believed in that. I've done another 2 years in prison. I'll do it 2 years, you know. And I said, right, I'm not coming off it. So the OC was coming down. I said, what the fuck are you on about, you know? I said, what the fuck am I on about? What the fuck are you on about? I said, I've been here for 8 years, you're going to kill me now. I come off it. He said, do you not see what's the bigger picture and all this? I said, I don't want to fucking hear it. If I didn't want to come on the protest, I should have done that 8 years ago. I would have been home. I would have seen my family every fucking week, you know? So, next thing, all the men come off. And I'm thinking, they're all moved to different cells, different wings. I'm on my own, this big fucking wing on my own. I'm thinking, well, fucking right, you fucked that up. You know, again, like, you know, and there's all your fucking stubbornness, you know what I mean? Next thing, the door opens. Fucking our guy comes out, it's a blanket man, well-known Republican IRM man. He's me, blood, what? He says, nah, Sam, I'm not going along with this fucking, you know, I'm staying on the protest. Me fuck good men think alike, like, you know. Next thing, an hour guy walked in, and then an hour one. At the end of the day, there were 6 of us, you know. So that started to cause a bit of trouble because other men were thinking, oh fuck this, I'm going back on the protest. So I'm a big blood and be burning and all they're fucking fuck it. So the OC seen us, right? So he came back down. First of all, he tried to threaten us to come off. No ordering us off. I said, you can't order me off. I wasn't ordered on. I'm a volunteer. I come off when I want to come off, not you, the ARA, you know? So he didn't like it. He was fucking raging, you know, I was fucking standing up against him. So the rest of them more or less said the same. He went away and came back again next day. He says, they're causing trouble. We're fucking outside now. I heard of a split. That's the last thing we want, a split in the fucking movement, you know what I mean? As Brendan Bain says, we've joined the ARA now, let's have a split here, like, you know what I mean? He says, it's up, I just want to fucking split the body of movement. All emotional shit he's hitting you with, you know what I mean, trying to make you. And then the 5th day he came down and he went, fuck it, alright, I'm going to tell you something. And I wasn't even listening. I said, what are you going to tell? More Mickey Mouse shit, you know what I mean? He says, there's going to be an escape. It's been fucking organised. And there's going to be about 20 men maybe getting out of here. And I laughed. I said, catch yourself fucking on. You can't get out of here. It's fucking impregnable. Yeah. It's impossible. Yeah. You know, you'd see unless you're in the haste box, you see what the way it's built. You knew you couldn't get out. We burning on more or less like laughing. He says, it's up to you. We need you to come off to hold the screws hostage for these men to get out. All lifers. So we sat, the 6 of us sat and talked about it, thinking, do you think it's true or is it just? He said, well, look, no, we'll come off it some. It's it for bullshit. It's going to fucking back on. Yeah. Little do we know, it's going to be the biggest escape in European history that we were involved in. You know? What a job. It wouldn't have happened except the 6 of us came off to hold the screws hostages so the men could get away. It was the biggest fucking escape in European history. It was incredible.
They made a film called The Maze. Did they do it justice?
Well, not for me, because I had one of the screws as a good guy.
Okay.
He was a good guy, like, you know, a nice family man going home and all. And I thought, many people did you fucking torture, you know? Because I was over in France when they asked me to recommend a show and to do a talk on. I had to do a big speech about the film, you know. And I didn't want to be too critical, you know. I was trying to say, well, look, there's a lot of positivity. Some of it, because my friend Larry Morley, he was the guy that created the whole, he was a mastermind behind it. He and I had been sentenced. He was one of the guys in the van who had been caught. And he was the guy that he did the whole escape. He was the mastermind of it. He was murdered later by the fucking Brits, you know, because they're terrified of him. Of course. But I remember watching it over in France, this big screening, and saying, well, Sam, what did you think of it? You know, your honest opinion. You know, I said, well, look, really, it was a good adventure film. I mean, it was pretty good. A lot of the points was good, so it was a wee bit made up. Like, I said, do you expect it's a film? I said, but Screw, the guy you all think, you know, he wasn't a bad man, he was a family man, he was a decent guy, he didn't really want to do it. I said, that's the biggest load of shit ever. I said, there was no fucking Screw like that. I said, I mean, I was 8 years with all the Screws. Never met him. So, right, give us something to think about. That was the critics like going, give us something to think about now, you know, because they were for newspapers and all, they wanted my opinion first, you know what I mean? Yeah. But I was the only part I wasn't happy with. This Screw was a family man, you know, a loving guy, and he didn't really want to be a Screw. He did it because he had to, and he was good with the prisoners. And fucking bullshit, you know. But
didn't sound like that.
No, didn't sound like that at all.
Did they recruit anyone who made that film? Did they recruit someone like yourself
yes.
or people to direct them through it?
Yes.
And who fed them that bullshit then? Well, I'm not actually the name, but did someone feed them that bullshit?
No, they said some of it was not, but we told them.
Yeah, okay.
But they wanted the adventure, and on our film, The Hunger, a lot of my book, they took a lot of stuff out of my book without my permission. There's a famous film called The Hunger, by Steve McQueen, black guy, you know. And a lot of stuff taken out of it is in my fucking, was taken from my book, you know.
Why is this not a fucking book? Or why is this not a film?
Well, you know, Warner Bros. Bought the rights to it. We've had all sorts of fucking shit with them. They sent me the scripts, and the scripts like Rambo goes to Belfast, the biggest lot of fucking shit. I've tried to take them to court, I've been told you do, you're fucking finished. You know, it's just been a nightmare. So I've turned my back on the film, but the film will be made.
Yeah.
It's going to be made.
It's definitely a film.
When like, seeing that book came out, see that night, Warner Bros. Were on the phone to my publisher in Galway, bought the rights. Because it was worldwide news. That book was worldwide news when it came out 20 years ago. All around America, all around the world. That book, you know.
It's incredible.
And Warner Bros. Bought the rights to it. And I thought at the time, this is 20 years ago, fuck, we have in Belfast, fuck, man. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
20 years later, I'm too cynical now. So it doesn't mean nothing to me anymore, you know. If it happens, it happens. Don't give a shit anymore, like, you know. At the time I thought it was brilliant. Not now.
I remember reading and listening to your story. You left the prison and you decided you're going to go to America, and it was a struggle with that as you're leaving your cause behind, and you're leaving your brothers and
lost too many comrades dead, you know. Just the fight was still going on, you know. Even though I sort of lessened a little bit, I thought, fuck, you know, they're going to fucking die. They're going to fight for me. I just full of guilt. But I remember going to a woman who had lost two ARA sons. I went there and I said, Mary, you know, this, I tell you something. I'm thinking of going to America next week. I got my friend sent me money to get a ticket. Me and a girl I'm going with. I said, but I'm wrecked with guilt. You know, she says, well, why? I said, well, you know, going to leave my girl behind. She says, you spent about 15 years for her. You went through hell. You've operated when our people didn't. Cards, you know. So why would you need to go, you need to get your life, a new life. Don't be worried about people dying, you know. Don't be worried about my sons or whatever, you know. They done, they believed, you know. That was the only reason I went. If that woman had said to me, shame on you for even thinking it, I wouldn't have went. So it was, you know, so it was meant to be, you know.
Again, I'll go back to the book. You brought me through the journey. You let me into your mind, and you create, like, one of the great stories was about when you go, your dad sent you to the chip, and there was a boy on a horse.
Ohio Silver.
Ohio Silver. I fucking love that. And then when you went to America, you start working in a casino. You narrated some of the things that the people said, and you let me into. It felt like I was there.
I know, that's what everybody said. Everybody said it was like a picture when they read that book. You know what I mean? My description of things, because I thought at the time, you know, I wrote it for myself, really, I got a lot of poison and all that, and I didn't believe it was going to be published. But as I did start to write, I wrote it like a film, as if this was a film being made.
And I read it like a film.
I wanted people to come in with me and to see the things and be there with me during the horror, and be there during the funny times, and be there during the happy times, you know.
And you didn't stay too long. You didn't stay too long in the H blocks. You didn't stay too long with the deprivation of the family. You moved through, and I know you weren't glossing and romanticising anything. You went through, and I think it was well gauged. It was lovely.
Yeah, it was. I didn't want it to be answered as harshes where everybody goes home depressed.
Yeah, because there was parts I was like, fuck me.
No, I didn't want that. I wanted people to fucking laugh. Yes, certainly be outraged. I want people to be outraged at the torture and be angry, but also want them to laugh and piss themselves laughing at times, even though they know, fuck, so I laughed at that there, you know. Of course, that's why I wanted everybody to laugh at the dark parts, you know what I mean. That's what made us laugh inside. That's what kept armour all up, you know, when I used to slave people, with the Hulk coming in on. And they always see me going, why are you talking like that? If people outside could hear us talking about fucking superheroes, they think we're nuts, you know. Things like that there, but that's what kept the humour, that's what kept the morale going, you know?
Yeah, the Hulk and superheroes
So he
was
had
a
to be
big part
Irish,
of
he
it.
was green and all, like, you know what I mean?
I never got that.
Yes,
fuck.
that's why he's fucking Irish, because he's fucking green, the big green fucking Irish Hulk.
Oh,
you know?
yeah, fucking brilliant.
But just things like that, to keep them morale up, but you had these Republicans, like real fucking Republicans, you're not allowed to laugh at, dead. We've told and all being dead and all, like, we used to make fun of we've told, not in a bad way, just a funny way, you know what I mean? The bones of we've told come back and haunt you and all. I said, you shouldn't be talking like this. No, we didn't give a fuck what he said. We were there to keep ourselves there, have a laugh at everybody. Funny enough, a week later.
Yourself.
And myself, yeah, of course, but a week later he was away, he was gone, he's quickly booted. But yet he's telling us not to be fucking dishonouring.
The fucker!
And no, exactly, that's my exact words.
The fucker!
You know, he went up and made Joe McDonald says, that bastard, you know?
Fucking hypocrite.
He was lecturing us on republicanism last fucking week. He's up there screwing the fucking shoes to him, the governor, you know?
Having his nice warm stew.
Exactly. Boot polishing the fucking governor's boots.
Ah, the bollocks.
Oh, fuck, you know?
So you went to America, you started working at a casino, and then you had an idea about the Brinks?
Yeah, well, what it was, my friend is an Irish cop, Irish American cop, and people's going to say, fucking mate, Sam, a Republican as a cop. That's different. These are Irish-American cops. Most of them are supporters of the Republican movement. This guy's quite famous. Tom O'Connor's dead now. But he was actually the bodyguard to Malcolm X. When Malcolm X went to Harlem, New York, he was assigned to look after him, make sure nothing happened to him. You know, he's a highly decorated cop, you know, wherever, you know. But he had a second job, because the cops are getting paid shit. So he moonlighted in this sort of a place called Genesee Brewery, made the beer for the whole of the western coast of America. But he also had another job in the Brinks. Now the Brinks, it's hard to explain it, but like if you think of Fort Knox, that's the best thing I can tell you. That's what the Brinks is. All the money from America is brought down to the Brinks. All the dirty money, the old money, and it's burnt. Millions and millions and millions and millions of it, you know. And he used to bring me up there during the 4th of July when we used to up there celebrating the Brits getting kicked out of America and things like that there, you know. And I used to see all these vaults, size of this fucking room, 20 of them on a row, and all the doors lying open, and all the dollars spilling out. I used to say, Tom, why didn't I get that? I said, what's the point? We're going to burn it all tomorrow. What's the point of that? So I'm starting to get all these fucking ideas. All these vaults are lying open, millions of dollars in them. And I went back to New York and I'd be talking to people, but I wasn't actually talking to them. I kept thinking these vaults, all this fucking money, you know.
Being burnt.
To be burnt.
And you were thinking, I could have it instead of being burnt, so I'm not really robbing it.
Oh, exactly. Plus, it was insured by Britain. It was insured by one of the big insurance companies here, you know. I forgot what they called it, very famous.
I didn't read that in the book, I didn't know it was insured by.
Yeah,
did you mention it,
it's in it there.
Yeah, I missed that.
I says a good laugh about it was the Brits insured all the money, you know, they had to pay back the money. You know?
Yeah.
One of the big Harrods are still big famous insurance company, just what's the top one anyway, they insured all the money for them, you know what I mean?
Right.
But
so you had two reasons.
well, you know, basically just to get some money for myself, you know. But the target I had was $100,000. That's what I wanted.
Yeah.
And I wanted to have a comic shop open. Because I remember telling my dad when I was a wee lad, I said, Dad, you know, someday I'm going to be in New York. I'm going to be living in Queens. I'm going to have a comic book shop because that's where Spider-Man lives, in Queens. And I'm going to have my own comic store. And he used to go, of course you are, son, of course you are. You know, like catch yourself on it, you know. Here I was, and I had my comic book store, I was living in Queens, you know.
You fucking did.
You know, and I did it fucking Brinks, you know. Got away with it for about a year until it was squealed on, you know. Usually I'd fucking shit, you know. And I went in, me and a friend, there was a few things leading up to it. The first one was fucked up. Hadn't got the right guy with me to go along with it, but I eventually got the right guy and we went and done it. And I thought if I get away with about 100,000, he got 100,000, two of us would be happy, you know. Fuck, little did we know what we fucking got away with. We got away with almost $8 million.
Yeah.
And it was a disaster because that sort of money put you on the wanted list. It was news, like headline news, the FBI most wanted list. You know, so I knew it fucked up big time. If it only took about 100,000, wouldn't even be mentioned. You know, they wouldn't mention it even. But fucking
they didn't let it go, they were dogging and balling, weren't they?
No, they went after me like big time. At one time they had 180 FBI agents looking for me all over America.
Do you know what I couldn't get my head around? That you were being watched for so long and you didn't fucking know.
Everybody told me, son, you're being watched. My landlord told me, and I said, no, too careful. You know, and there had been Chinese women who owned restaurants and I said, Mr. Millar, they're watching you. I said, who? FBI. I seen them down the street. I go, what the fuck? You know, no way. I was looking down, I was looking all around me. Where the fuck? Little did I know they hired the house facing me, had it all wired up, telephones, TV, right into my rooms, all my movements. I had my movements for a year, all recorded everywhere I went.
Wow. And you were a picturesque family, your kids,
nice neighbour. Neighbours all loved it. The New York Times said, oh, he was the greatest neighbour, took his kids to school, went to Mars, back home, worked, back home, pick his kids up, go to bed, up early the next morning, go to work, you know, like a perfect foot. We can't believe this isn't it, Sam, you tell lies. This is them was talking to the New York Times. Sam did not do this, believe me, you know.
Oh, fucking hell.
It's the whole neighbourhood was saying this.
You
know, because I was so well liked among them all, like, you know.
And you had your little comic store.
Yeah.
And people I couldn't get over the fucking price of the comics, by the way. Fuck me.
So Spider-Man there last week, 6 million, the first Spider-Man comic. 6 million, you know.
Where are all the comics now?
They were fucking stolen and I left people in charge of comic book stores, but they ripped me off. Now I can't complain, it wasn't my money to begin with, but they fucking stole everything all
bastards. I was wondering where the comics went to.
What can you do? You can't complain, it wasn't your money to start with. At the start I was quite angry, thinking
Yeah,
I'm going to send a couple of people to fucking sort these cunts out, you know? But reality set in, says nah.
Isn't that where my mind went? Until I wasn't thinking about the Brinks, I was thinking, where's all this fucking
Yeah,
comics? 'Cause I know you love them.
If we still had the comics now, I'd be a millionaire.
Yeah.
You know, easy. Millionaire, easy.
Would you not do it again?
Do what, the Brinks again?
No. Yeah, well, if you want.
No,
I'll give you a
fuck,
hand.
never do the Brinks again.
The comics though.
I'm too old now.
Yeah.
You need to be young, you know, I'm fucking near 70 now, so fucking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm near and coming up to 70, so. Nah, it's. Kids should be young, have a heart.
I love the what did you call them? The attorney you got, your man.
Fuck, Tony Leonardo.
He was some character, wasn't he? He was flashy.
Yeah, but he was David Bowie's fucking lawyer.
He was the what?
David Bowie.
W-Boy, yeah.
And John Galliano wanted and all this shit. But the funny thing was, we had 6 of the top lawyers in fucking New York, like, you know. But the funny thing was, after he was actually charged for trying to murder his partner, he went to jail. Yeah, he went to jail. He fucking set up mafia and murder his partners, you know. So he ended up getting big time in jail too.
No.
Yeah, it was all fucked up. Then one of the prosecutors, he fucking ended up in jail for corruption. One of the ones that done me, you know. So it's just a continuation. And then one of the old lawyers who represented Father Pat, he became one of the top judges in America. He got because of the Brinks, because he was so brilliant defending. He got all the cases dropped. He got all the major charges dropped because my civil rights were violated. How the fuck can your civil rights be violated after you've done the Brinks? You know, but that's America for you. It's the greatest country in the world.
I couldn't believe how he's got off.
Yeah, greatest country in the world.
I know Father Pat wanted you to take it in New York, near it again.
He went to New York because all his friends and all were there, you know.
But like, he was like, you went, and we won't give away the story, but you went to him and asked for his help, and then he seemed like the innocent party in it all.
Yeah.
But then he was giving money out to people,
he was doing all sorts
and
of
money
shit
went missing.
Behind my back, the shit that he was doing, you know, because we didn't know, he and I didn't know. We were being watched 24 hours a day on camera by the FBI.
Because I felt bad for him.
What?
I felt bad for my force, and I was thinking, you fucker.
I felt
when
bad.
the evidence came up.
During the trial, I felt bad. I said to Tony Leonardo, I said, listen, I'm going to plead guilty here and say Father Pat's fucking innocent. Tony said, no, you're not. I said, I fucking am. And the story said, well, I'll tell you now, I'm taking you to the court tomorrow. I'm going through the tapes, and then you tell me if you're going to fucking do it. So he took me over to the court the next morning. I didn't know what he was on about. Next thing I was Father Pat. We were in this apartment block. So we've got the cameras in all the hallways, all the fucking thing the FBI has. Next thing there's Father Pat with 2 black guys. Empty bags, and coming out. Can hardly carry bags. And then the FBI beside him, and he's got a van, they've got a van. We'll see through mirror. They're taking all the pictures of Father Pat, counting all the fucking bundles of fucking, you know. I didn't know this. So Tony Leonardo, after I watched all the film, and I said that. So you're going to plead guilty in? Oh my fuck, that bastard, you know?
That's bollocks.
You know? But there you go, you see, but then see after he got out in bail, they all got out in bail except me, because that's an illegal alien. Everybody got out in bail.
Yeah, and he's going off doing interviews now.
Didn't see the interviews? I was a bastard. Didn't know this was money. Didn't know anything about it.
Bollocks.
Just to be an innocent priest. And you wouldn't believe him, so you didn't know him. You say, oh fuck that poor man, that bastard Millar, he's an evil bastard. You know? Oh, I was honest, the shit that I was getting letters from London on prison, I was going to hell now. It was stressful time, you know? And the worst about it, there was only one innocent guy there, a guy called Charlie McCormick.
He owned the apartment.
He owned the apartment, he was away in Hawaii, a Father Pat behind his back, went and used the apartment, put all the stolen money in, 8 million. Didn't tell him. And Charlie comes fucking home from Hawaii, not knowing anything. Next thing I arrest him for being a mastermind. Charlie said, mastermind what? Never had a part in taking his life. Poor guy, fucking terrible.
And they got him on, he wrote this thing, he was making a video for
fucking
college.
20 years ago.
And he wrote
Jesus,
his numbers.
I have 7.5 million in the bank. Just had to be the money from the fucking Brinks that went. But that was 20 years ago. So they had to go and get his teachers now. From the our school, Mother Brinks said, yeah, I remember writing that composition. He wrote that composition about being Jesus Christ and he had all the money in the world. Just a fucking strange thing. It's actually an amount of money.
How he's got off. I love that your attorney said you don't talk about you're going down for so many reasons.
Yeah.
Don't ever hear you saying it again till the day of it or something. I was like, he knew something. Do you think he knew something?
He knew, well, he knew the system different from the system that I lived.
Okay, yeah.
The system that I lived was you're Catholic, you're going to fucking jail. He says, this is America, we don't deal like that there. He says, we're going to be fighting this. There's so many holes in this fucking case. And I was thinking, there's no fucking holes in it. He's got me by the ballocks. Caught dead to right, you know? He says, you'll see. He was right, you know? All the major charges are dropped. Except possession of money, and I only ended up getting 5 fucking years. Thing was going for life. I thought I was going down to penitentiary. I was had.
You thought you were going for 60 years.
Oh, I was dead in the penitentiary, like I wasn't getting out. You know, I knew that for a fact in my head, like I already got myself built up for it, you know, that was it.
I know when you went to the penitentiary and they moved you around what's known as
Yeah,
diesel
therapy,
I
horrible.
was laughing because they.
No, you were laughing, I wasn't.
Sorry, I was in a warm, cozy house
Yeah.
laughing. But the fact of, in comparison to the blanket
Yeah.
and the stuff that you went through, was
Yeah.
like, they haven't got a patch on you.
I know, but they didn't know that. They didn't understand what I had endured in the fucking hate.
But they told you, like, this is not like fucking
They're going
Ireland.
to break me. They says, we're going to give you 2 days and you're going to be out in the snow. Because they take you around the mountains in a wee van.
Eating at McDonald's.
Well, no, you weren't eating at McDonald's. They were eating at McDonald's. I've seen these bomb sandwiches and they were fucking blue molded and milk. It was horrible. I was throwing up now and I said, well, if you throw up, you're going to be living in that. Because it's a cell made especially for this wee van, you know. Take you around the mountains. It's called diesel therapy because all the diesel's coming in from the van. It's giving you migraine headaches. So it's there to break you down. It's inhuman. See, if the Russians were doing it, it'd be fucking outraged around the world. But because America does it, the FBI does it, to break down suspects that the thing's going to turn around and become a toad or a rat. That's what they've done. So I was the only one that had. Everybody's out in deal. So I thought I would break and I would give all their names, but didn't happen. You know, they did that to me for a year and I never shocked.
A year?
A year. And what they've done, see, after the trial was over, they went to Tony A&R, says, we saw him, we went over and shook his hand because of what he went through and he never squealed on his friends. He says, we've had big tough American mafia men after 2 days giving them telling us everything. And I said, I'm not shaking on any fucking FBI laws, fucking hand you
Fuck off.
you know? So that was it.
So they drove you around in a van, just to paint the picture, no back on it, like a pickup truck.
It was like a pickup truck where hard plastic, what do you call that hard plastic? You can't break it. It's a fucking name for it down there. So you're inside this here, there's like little bars down it.
Like corrugated plastic or...
It's a hard, you can't break it. It's fucking bulletproof and all that shit. It's a fucking name for Americans, specialise in. So you're in the back of it, all you have is a jumpsuit on, you've no socks, vests or anything. You've just got this thin, this is the middle of winter, going through the American mountains. Can you imagine the fucking mountains over there? And I couldn't even talk, I was shivering so much, you know? And they were like laughing, they said, oh, it's so hot in here, no, I hate it all, like, you know, it's like, that's fucking hate when we come in here, you know? And that fucking back shaking like this here, you know? Said, come on, Sam, stop fucking around, we'll take the McDonald's and all, and get you in a nice warm cell and all, you know? Didn't happen.
Didn't break.
Didn't happen. But I'll tell you, I will give them credit. They stopped off one day at McDonald's and they bought me a Big Mac.
Did they?
And it was a fucking loveliest fucking hamburger.
And you took it?
Oh fuck, I took it like couldn't believe it. I took my time eating it too.
Did you think it was a joke?
I thought they were saying, they said to me, would you like a Big Mac? You know what I mean? I said, oh yeah. I said, don't forget the ketchup, because I didn't think we'd bring me one. Because you're saying this to me all every day, you know? And I said, what way do you like the coffee? I said, milk and sugar, thank you. Think I wasn't getting fuck on. Next thing I would hand me the bag. Big fucking thing of coffee, sugar, milk, big fucking hamburger, french fries.
Why do you think they done that? Do you think somebody befriended you?
No, I think so. I think it was like a Stockholm syndrome. They started to associate with their victim, you know what I mean? And I think that they realised I wasn't a bad guy. I wasn't giving them abuse. I was just saying, you know, it's your job. You do what you have to do. Like I wasn't, you know. I think off the way they begrudgingly respected me, you know what I mean? I said, fuck it, you know. Don't think they realised it wasn't right what they were doing to me, you know what I mean? Like, but yeah, I'll never forget that hamburger. I can still taste it with fucking mouth, you know, it's fucking delicious.
Just to say, this interview is not sponsored by McDonald's.
No, sorry.
No, it isn't. So you done 5 years then in
5 years after thinking, going for life, you know, I didn't even do the 5 years because Bill Clinton gives me a fucking pardon. The Good Friday Agreement was coming, and I remember the governor in the prison, he lives in a big house in the top of the fucking prison, one of the top guards came down and said, Mother, governor wants to see you up in his house. Here's me. What does he want to see me for? Oh, I don't know, you gotta get up there right now. I said, no, fuck off. And I got to see the governor on, and then I said to him. So next thing I got a message from outside, a couple of days later. Says, next time the governor calls you, get up, there's a phone call waiting for you. You know, here's me, what the fuck's going on here? I kept saying it was the FBI trick, you know, trying to give me more years, you know, because they were fucking angry. I lost that case. That case cost them $5 million. All the witnesses now, it cost the FBI $5 million, you know, plus their credibility. But I went up anyway. I remember sitting there, the governor was looking very nervous, you know, and all these guards were going, what the fuck's this? It's a civilian, a prisoner, going up in the governor's fucking house, and they were all fucking shitting themselves. Well, what the hell is this guy? Who is this guy? Like, you know, mainly. So I went in, and I remember the governor gets up and walks out. You see his face a wee bit, didn't know what, shaky, like, you know what I mean? Next thing, the phone rings. I wasn't going to pick it up, and then that's the FBI. I kept ringing. Fuck, I better answer this, you know, and I lifted. this is such and such from Bill Clinton's office. Here's me himself, yeah, fucking right. He says, you're going home to Belfast shortly. Hung the phone up. I said, oh, okay, thank you, have a nice day. Put the phone up thinking, that was a fucking guy waiting me up, you know? But it was true. Bill Clinton's secretary or somebody. I can't say who, wasn't it? Can't give a name, you know?
Yeah, you start moving you around again, you thought like, oh, I'm on the
Started it was all down again, but what they were doing is just moving me down closer down to New York so to be near JFK airport for when it was time to go home.
And then 1 year old fucking nemesis came along
Yeah, I
to meet
remember
you.
the fucking voice saying, well, whereas, you know, no tall down American, what the fuck's all that there? So it was the fucking screws. The guard in the penitentiary down Manhattan opened the door. Next thing, I fucking screws, and I fucking seen the hit box. I couldn't believe it. But the only thing was, they were like me now, we're old men. I said, hope you're not going to give us any fucking trouble, Miller. And he says, well, as long as you don't give me any more fucking trouble, you know, you'll get anything from me, like, you know.
Had you still got that of
Oh,
anger?
from out here,
Yeah.
you know, cheeky bastard. You know what I mean? I says, I'm cheeky bastard, don't you fucking ever forget. It's not the door before I could finish the conversation, you know. But then one of the American guards opened the door says, was that Gaelic you guys were speaking? You know, because he couldn't understand a fucking word. We were speaking so fast, you know.
How old were you at the time? How
What?
old were you at that time?
Fucking in my 38 or something, was it?
Yeah,
Something like that there.
that's still a lot of fighting, eh?
Oh fuck, I still fight me now.
Oh,
Oh,
fucking, that's
I-
palatable.
See when I'm dead, I still be fighting in the coffee.
Yeah.
You know, it's the only way to go, you know, yes, you know.
So you were released back to Ireland. He sent you back. You done a small stint here in
Gabriel, I think it was thinking with Gabriel, I can't remember. It's out in Derry, it was prison out in Derry. But I was only here for 2 days and the governor came down and he says, I don't even know why you're here. Going to let you go. You know? So they actually let me go before my time was up because they didn't know why I was there for. Nobody sent papers down.
yeah.
It was all very secret. Next thing I'm like, Belfast, that was it. That was the end of all that and the start of a new beginning of being a writer, you know.
Yeah. And that was the journey then. You finished your connection with the Irish.
Still a Republican.
Yeah.
Just nothing to do with Sinn Féin or anything like that. I think that's all a lot of nonsense. The Good Friday Agreement. I'm a big fan of it, you know.
And did your kids and family come home with you?
Yeah, they were there before. They left.
How many kids have you got?
I got 3 children.
And they came here with you?
No, they came back with their mother because I was in prison.
But they moved back here.
Yeah, they moved here, but now they're here now. They've done great. They love it here. You know, went to great schools, got great jobs, doing great. You know.
Did you struggle with that adjustment back?
Me?
Yeah.
Yes, I hate it. Still hate this fucking place.
Do you?
Oh, I hate it with a person. You know, just things like fucking shit home. You know.
Right.
That's it. Once you've seen freedom, because that's what America showed me, freedom, true freedom. And you come back here, it's oppressive, it's suffocating, there's no freedom here, you know. People talk about the Good Friday Agreement's broad changes, a lot of bollocks. It's broad changes for a select few.
Yeah, pal of mine met me at the market because when I pursued this idea that I wanted to interview the likes of you and the amazing man Francie McGuigan, I spoke to him about it and he goes, man, we're fed a story down here. I won't say who his name is. We're fed a story down here, but that's not really what's going on there.
Yeah.
A lot of things haven't changed.
Yeah, big time.
You know, not only by listening to you, listen to Francie, reading these books and other things, and when they come up here going, fuck me, we're still fed bullshit.
If you bring in a Sinn Féiner here, they'll tell you this is like, fuck, what a wonderful word this is now. It's a wonderful word for a select few.
Right.
So I tell people now, go and read Animal Farm.
Yeah.
Because once you read Animal Farm, you know what's going to happen. It's the same here, it's the pigs that have taken over. They're still going to be your masters. That's what's here, you know. There's a select few well off, you know. Boys for the jobs and all, you know.
Perception is reality, but it's not fact.
No. And here's another fucking cracker because once I became a writer, you know, I was also says all of a sudden when I become a writer, start winning all these big international awards and all, you know, all of a sudden these people who also says to me, wanted to know me, would I come here and give a speech to such and such, and I always remember, I says, nah, I'll never forget it. I got this phone call from a top Republican, I'm not going to name him. I got a phone call. I was in the house, I was actually with my comics. You know, I was actually putting my comics in alphabetical order, thousands of them, you know. The next thing this guy was talking to me, he says, listen Sam, this is from the top. It's not for, I know what you're going to tell me. Don't be angry with me. I says, because we're still friends. I says, go ahead, what is it? He says, I've got a great job for you. Big money. Will you take it? I says, Paul, you already know the answer to that, I told you. He said, I know, but I had to ask you. This is from the top. I says, no. I said, I'll tell you what to do. See a big top job I want you to offer to such and such guy who's an ex-IRA man, alcoholic, sleeping on a park now. Nobody gives a fuck about it. I says, why don't you just offer it at home? You know, that was the end of the conversation. But they're trying to buy me off. Because they were getting very scared of things I've been writing about them, you know.
I heard you said a lovely statement, I don't know if it was in the interview or where I read it. The word is great, going talking is brilliant, but the pen, actually writing, you've got more traction that way, haven't you?
I was always a big fan of, you know, I used to hear people say to me, so one day you're going to find out, because I knew how I was.
Say that again.
People would come to me, like socialists and all,
Oh,
you know,
funny.
intellectuals.
Yeah.
When I'd be talking to them, I said, Sam, you know, one day you'll find out that the pen is made in a sword. I used to say, fuck off that bullshit, because you're a fucking coward. That's why you want to try and justify your conscience that you don't want to take up a fucking sword. Fight these fuckers who are criminals, you know. But now that I become a writer, I'm doing interviews all around fucking Europe, everywhere. The top magazines, interviewing the top TV shows. I've never got that as an ARA man. Now I'm able to express myself and to tell people what went on in here, because people in Europe are shocked. People in Europe were a bit like yourself, down in Free State, didn't realise what was going on here because the Brits had covered it up so well. And people in France and all the top magazines are outraged. I says, Sam, I says, you face the greatest propaganda country in the world, Britain. They have the greatest propaganda machine of anybody in the world, bar none. I says, it's not your fault. That's what your country was fed by the British government. Because they all believe the same too. It was all great over here and all, you know what I mean? Well, I've changed that. I've changed a lot of perspective and a lot of people's opinions. You know, journalists, TV people over in France and Germany and Italy, and different places where I go in Europe, you know.
But isn't it great that you put it down on pen and paper? It's not going away. Or a word, it's just out there. Yeah,
that book's been out 20 years. It's been a bestseller every year for 20 years. You know. Now I'm censored here in Belfast.
Yeah.
I'm censored big time. The latest nonsense that I had to endure, apart from all them death threats, was Easton's bookstore.
What was that all about?
Yeah. Those fuckers took all my books offline and would refuse to sell them. I got
why? What's the
yeah.
rationale?
This is what's happened. I had fucking 10 bestsellers. What was making money? All of a sudden, people called me and said, Sam, your books aren't on Easton's. I said, what are you on about? I said, go. So I went on to Easton's. Now, no Sam Millar doesn't exist. All of a sudden, my 10 books that were selling are gone, disappeared, been wiped off the fucking thing, because there's a censorship here towards me. It's been going on big time, different places, you know. And in a good way, it was a good thing, because people started to understand that. People from Italy, journalists, and all saying, so I've seen it. I can't fucking, used to tell me about this, that. And they started to write, they wrote to Easton's. Easton's got thousands of fucking letters of emails. Wow, what happened here? Why did you take this best-selling writer, Sam Millar, off? Because it's politics. So they started stuttering, they started making idiots themselves. First of all, they said, well, the books are old, they're 10 years old, and there's books down in their 20s, 30 years old. So we made concepts, and then I went to a Brown Press. I says to them, why are you not doing anything about my books being taken off these? He says, none of me can do. He says, well, you can't do anything? Well, that's what I do. So I had all my fucking media, social media, bombarded fucking Easton's with fucking emails, bombarded them. Next thing Easton surrendered. They asked me, says, Mr. Millar, we should have never done this here. It was, first of all, to tie out bullshit. It was a computer error. I said a computer error for 3 weeks. Even after we fucking explained to you why I did that. And I've never said to me why I take it. I know why. Certain man who's in charge of the books got rid of it because he hates me, because of my politics. And that exposed it. It was great. Exposed it. Everybody thought I was paranoid saying all this. And then all of a sudden, Easton's go ahead and do it so blatantly. And I got photocopies, photoshots put on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Says, there, just go, here's what they've done. They took all my books off, no excuses. Sam Millar's books do not exist. And it was brilliant. You know, now they're back on because of pressure. But so is it, doesn't it? What they're fucking up to. That's the shit I'm up to. That's the shit that's going on up here. I'm not invited to book conferences, not a writers' conferences go on all the time here. But in France, fucking love me. Germany, invited to every fucking major bookstore. Next month I'll be going to 15 over in France. You understand? Book signings, all the top major fucking book fairs. Here, fucking isolated.
It's
scandalous.
It's ingrained in the soil here, isn't it?
Yeah.
That bigotry and the oppression and like, you know, I can only experience, kind of relate to a little bit with the Catholic Church. Like, that's ingrained in everything we do down there. You know, the way my parents parented, the way,
of course.
And it's generational pain.
Yeah.
Here, it's in the soil, isn't it? It's everywhere. That bigotry and oppression.
Absolutely.
And fear.
Yeah.
But what I'm loving to hear from what you're telling me through this story was, you're breaking down some barriers, like you have these loyalists and you have these prison guards, these soldiers coming over to you.
That changed me too. That was another thing that changed me. Because I thought I was going to get dogs abuse. I don't give a shit, you know, on YouTube and all this here, and all of a sudden, all these fucking British soldiers serving and ex-British soldiers, loyalists, they were all so favourable to what I wrote. It's just, you know something, after listening to you, it changed me. I thought nobody could ever change me. I said, once we watched your whole fucking interview, it changed me forever. Fair play to you, and all this, and I was shocked.
Yeah.
You know?
It's fucking, it's incredible.
Thousands
You
and
can break
thousands
down the barriers.
Often, you know, because there's like 800,000 hits so far on that fucking interview, you know? It'd be a million.
Which
Like
was?
James English.
Oh yeah, thanks to James English. I really
Yeah,
appreciate
James
his
English
work.
changed everything. He was a game changer for me.
I can't believe I'm actually sitting here with you and I'm fucking blown away. It's incredible. How can we help the likes of people that have been in your position that didn't have the courage and the
There you go. Go ahead, ask him that. Ask him, like people like me put their life on the line. Oh, well, we didn't ask you to put our life on the line, but you asked me to defend your fucking street. When the loyalists were coming in and burning us out, you wanted me to put my life on the line in, and you never put your life on the line. You hid behind a fucking sofa and wanted me to go after your wife and kids. You know? I don't like it, you know? I don't fucking like it. They don't call me the elephant for nothing. I don't forget fuck all, you know?
Yeah. Like same as yourself and interviewing Francie there on Sunday, the fucking memory, the like very vivid, like colourful, detailed memory. I struggled to fucking remember last week. And a lot of trauma, and I relate it right back to your childhood with your mum leaving, and I know from reading the book your mum had her difficulties around drinking and mental health. So how have you helped yourself work through that over the years? You know, and I see that you've sustained a family and that's going well for you. How did you look after yourself?
Up until a few years ago, I remember my father being on his deathbed and he wanted me to forgive my mum, and I couldn't do it. I told him, Dad, you know me, I'm not going to say yes. Well, I can't. It's not in my heart. And my brother came back from Canada for a few weeks from my daddy's funeral, and he had these beautiful portraits made of my mother. You know, beautiful portraits made of her when she was a young woman, like. And I said, if you give me it, I'm going to set it on fire. And he was fucking shocked. He was shocked. He didn't realise how fucked up my head was over what had happened. And only then I sat down, talked to him. He started feeling guilty because he's my older brother. You understand? Yeah. And it affected him then. And then I said, fuck, I should have told him that. But he said, Sam, I'm glad you told me. Yeah. Because I was always wondering why you're so angry. You know what I mean? About certain things. And then I started doing a lot of volunteer work for people, addictions or alcohol and drugs, people with mental health. And all of a sudden I started to see my mother in these people, and I started to think, you know, she went through shit. You know? She went through her own personal hell that I did not know until now. So, you know, if I can say with her, forgiving her, not that she needed forgiving, because her mind wasn't fucking her mind wasn't her own, you know? But sometimes, you know, it was just a guy talking to me, he says, Sam, if you've ever had any spare time, can you come up and do a few book readings? So I donate lots of books, you know, not a place that needs books, you know. He says, fucking nobody wants to listen to me. He says, no, you would be fucking great, no tell. Yeah, instead of a couple of days and come back the next day, and next thing do a wee bit of work around the place, next thing I find myself staying there. You know, most days come back doing a bit of volunteer work and I start to learn and put myself through courses to get to learn and know better. You know what I mean, different levels, and all this here sort of shit. So it's been a changing point in my life. And had I not met that man and that man hadn't introduced me to people who are suffering from mental health, I probably would never forgive my mother. You know? So it's just a fucking strange thing.
It's fucking brilliant.
Life's strange.
You know, is telling this story and doing these interviews and writing this book, is it cathartic and therapeutic for you?
It is. You know, it's hard. I don't like crying, you know what I mean? Because I know I break down sometimes when certain issues come up. Not horrible issues, just emotional issues, you know? And sometimes I think, well, fuck yes, you crying, you know, don't understand it. But it's a big relief. It's like a balloon in your stomach. Somebody has launched it and it's went down. It's giving me a chance to breathe again, you know?
Yeah.
Now, I don't know what's going to happen next week. Could be something happen next week where me and start to build up tension within me, I don't know. But I'm learning how to get rid of that tension all the time. My son has been great. He's been great in talking to me. He's talking to me from his generation's viewpoint, because I used to go, you just don't understand, you won't be living like this, except for people like me who put our life on the line. You'll be treated like shit, like a second class citizen. That's it. You know, what do you want us to do? You know, this is our lives now. And then you realise, fucking right, this is his life, you know what I mean? So, hey, his life is my life. I have no right to sort of like give him a guilty conscience, you know? He's a young guy now, got a good job, got a great life ahead of him, you know what I mean? Sometimes you just want to say, people sacrifice an awful lot for you to be in positions they're in that, you know. Maybe it's so selfish as my behalf, or suddenly, you know, I don't know what it is, but sometimes I just get angry that people forget how it was here.
Yeah, no, we look, any successor I've had, Sam, I always have to look back and say the people that got me to here, like thanking James English for interviewing, thank my Noel Riley, my graphic designer, my sponsor, they've all helped me get here. So looking back, you have helped us to get to this position, and we have to, because we can only understand life by looking back. We can join the dots. So I thank you for the work that you did, and the fucking honour and the courage and the bravery.
I wish somebody else had come in.
Yeah, like
nobody ever has come to you and said that, you know, not me just, but other volunteers who fought to give their lives, you know.
Sitting with Francie and I go, he done that for us.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? And you go, we wouldn't be here today without it.
Exactly.
And then we 100%. Have a responsibility for going forward.
100%.
As Steve Jobs says, we join the dots looking back, but we live our life forward.
Exactly. That's it.
Do you know what I loved about this? The fact that, and even you showed it here today, you showed vulnerability, you showed honesty, you showed courage. The fact that you crying brought me closer. I don't think I would be interested in interviewing someone that was a hardened IRA man that wouldn't allow me in.
Yeah.
Your vulnerability allowed me to connect you, and I really appreciate that.
No, thank you for coming up, and I appreciate all the journey it took to come to me. It was good meeting you, and you've helped me here today too.
And you've helped me. Look, thanks very much. What's the one thing you would like people to take away after listening to this interview?
My own belief is, you know, don't worry about today. Tomorrow's a new day. You know, don't let things get to you the way I've let a lot of things get to me in my life and tore me down. But if you'd have told me 20 years ago I'd be a best-selling writer, international awards, I'd have laughed at you. But there it is now. And it's there for you too. There's something there for somebody. It's going to come to them, you know. Don't give up. Don't give up.
Don't give up.
Never give up. Never give up. You know. All right, Matt.
Incredible, man. Guys, hang on for a second. We just wrap this up.
Okay,
don't jump up yet. Guys, this is the book. This interview is exactly like the book. It's honest, it's courageous, it's funny, it's brave, it's vulnerable. Please, please, please go and buy this if you're, you know, from the Protestant community, the Catholic community, non-denominational, whatever. This book is for everyone. This is a human being with incredible strength, honesty, courage. It's a deadly fucking book. It's the best book, true story I've ever read. Thanks very much. If anything affects you today in this, please reach out. Please do what Sam says. Talk to people. Look for help. Look for support. All my interviews are brought to you by the wonderful Noel Riley from Rooney Media Graphics, Shannon's Hopeline, everyone from the Liberties. Please share this with family and friends. This is an amazing man, amazing story. There's many, many people out there just like him. Thanks very much for all your kindness and follow me. Have a fantastic day. Sam, thanks a lot.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
I will run, I will climb, I will soar. I'm undefeated. Oh, jumping out of my skin, pull the cord. Yeah, I believe it. Oh, the past is everything we were. Don't make us who we are. So I'll dream until I make it real, and all I see is stars. It's not until you fall that you fly. When your dreams come alive, you're unstoppable. Take a shot, chase the sun, find the beautiful. We will glow in the dark.